Okay, so if you guys want to record the video, also can to just hit on the record button, and then I will give you the access to record lah if you need it. Okay. Okay, so I continue at here. Okay, so you just open up the PDF file. So inside we have these four information. So you just copy and then paste it into the SQL for all of this information for the product ID, company name, address, and also the activation code. Okay. So after you paste all the information, the digit A and B should be the same as the PDF file that provided. Uh, okay, for the recording, we didn't send to the client, but we will upload this training video to the YouTube playlist. So later on, maybe I will share you the link for the YouTube. So maybe you have to wait for, like today is Friday. So maybe you have to wait for next week and see whether Ubisoft supporting they go upload the video to the YouTube for this one. Okay, all right. Okay, so you just double check and see for the digit A and B. So if both are the same as the PDF file, then you may just click on the register button. Okay, so it will prompt out the message which is showing registration successful. Okay, so this is the first step you have to do. This one is for a first time user. So if you are an existing user for SQL, so you no need to do for this step. Okay. Okay, next you have to go to the file and then go to the company profile. Okay, so inside here, you also need you to fill in some information like the basic info. Okay, so this one is your company name. Okay, this one is linked with the product activation just now. Okay, if your license already activated, so the company name will be linked from here. Okay, so both are the same. So address also will link from here also. Okay, which means that if your company name change or maybe you move to another location, okay, so you have to inform us. Then we have to inform the HQ to let them issue a new license key, because for the existing license key is bind with this company name and also address. So if this info got any changes, so you have to inform us, then we only can get the new license key lah. Okay, so you cannot simply change by yourself for the company name and also the address part. Okay. Okay, so we continue here. Okay, so this one remark you can put any remark that you want. Like for example, maybe I start using SQL sub from maybe 2025. So you want to put as 2025 also can lah. So it's up to you. Okay, and then this one is the SSM number. This one is the new one, and then this is the old one. So after you have the company name here, you may just hit on the search button. Okay, so system will help you to look for the company name here and then search for the SSM number new and old one. So you may just click OK. So system will help you to fill in the details lah. Okay, and then this is industry code, which is your company MSIC code. Okay, so this one if you don't know your company MSIC code, right? Maybe you have to ask for tax agent. Okay, because they should have the MSIC code when they doing the tax submission. Okay, so this one you have to fill in. As right now, if you want to implement the e-invoice, so this is one of the mandatory field lah. Okay, for the MSIC code. Okay, if your MSIC code is more than one, maybe you got many different kind of the business nature. So maybe you have more than one MSIC code, right? So you may just put the majority one will do. Okay. And the bottom here, okay, this one address, you no need to do any changes. And the country, you have to select as Malaysia. And then this is the postcode. Postcode, you may just put the 5-digit here, and then system will recognize that this 5-digit. Hold on, why this one have the... Oh no, I try to delete for this one. This one, yeah, should be okay already. Okay, so this one is the postcode, so you may just put in the 5-digit here, so system will recognize that this 5-digit, and then showing the city and state for this postcode. Okay, and then this is the phone number, and then this is the email. Okay, and then the left hand side here, the top corner, right? This one is you can load in your company logo. You may just right click and then click the load button. and then you browse your file folder, and then you may just search your company logo picture, and then you just load in here. Which means that this one will be your company letterhead lah. If you got print out the maybe like invoices, so this company logo will show up inside the invoices letterhead. Okay. Okay, next is the report header. Okay, so this one report header is, okay, after you're done filling the information here, right? Okay, this one report header, you may just click on set report header. So system will base on the information here and generate the letterhead for you. Okay, but this one is just for the example only lah. Okay, so after the system generate the letterhead for you, if you want to make any changes, like maybe you want to change the font type or maybe like font size, you may just click on edit. Okay, like for example, this one, maybe I want to make it like become blue color. Okay, maybe I want to put it underline. Okay, so I put something like this, and then after you're done, you may just click on the close button. So save changes, yes. Okay, so this one will be your new layout for the letterhead. Okay. Then this one report folder, okay, this one you just leave it blank. This one is okay, if you want to put your company bank account details, right? Okay, this one you can inform support team, and then they can just directly add in inside the format. Like for example, maybe your invoice format at the footer part, you want to put in the company bank account details, right? Okay, so you may just WhatsApp the support team, and then they will just ultra people in, and then edit the bottom part for the footer, and then add in the bank details for you lah. So for this part, you may just leave it as empty will do. Okay, and then next is the My Invoice, which is the E-invoice. Okay, so if you want to setting up the E-invoice, right? Okay, you have to click the save button first. Okay, and then this one you have to put in your TIN number. Okay, so for Sdn Bhd, once you search the SSM number, right? So it will also actually search for your TIN number. Okay, so just now when the result come up, so when you hit OK, so system will actually fill in the SSM number for new, old, and also the TIN number for Sdn Bhd. Okay, so for enterprise, you have to check by yourself, like maybe you have to log in the MyTax website, and then you have to search for your the business owner for the TIN number, like for the personal one. Okay, because for the sole proprietorship will be special a bit, like because the business owner can cooperate like many sole prop business. So inside the SQL can retrieve the enterprise TIN for the TIN number. Okay, so for enterprise will be special a bit, so you have to check on the MyTax, and then you have to fill in here. So for personal TIN number, which is maybe start from IG and then follow with the 12 digit. So you may just key in at here. Okay. So this one C number is for the Sdn Bhd. Okay. So if you want to do the linking for the e-invoice, right? Okay, you click the connect my invoice. Hold on, maybe you have to wait for a while. Okay. So inside here will need you to fill in some information. Okay, for this one is a e-invoice start date. So if you want to put in the start date, so you may just click on 3 dots button here. So see whether you are fall in which phase. So you can just select lah. Like for example, maybe you know that your company is fall on the fourth one. Okay, so you will just click on this one. So when next year, 1st of January 2026, okay. So when you log in into the SQL, so SQL will prompt out a message and ask you that, do you want to switch it to the live one? Okay, so if you click yes, so at that moment, the SQL will change the server to the actual one. So when you do the e-invoice submission, so it will submit the documents to the actual one. Okay, because inside the because the e-invoice server, we got 2 server lah. Because LHDN got created for 2 server. One is for the testing, and then another one is for the actual one. Okay, so actual one is actually under the MyTax website. Okay, so for another one, which is for the testing, right? It is under the pre-production website. Okay, so it's actually the website something like this. Okay, you may just go to the Google, and then you can search like pre-prod. Okay, so this website is for the testing purpose only. Okay, so you may just put in your director IC and also the password to submit, and then you may just do the registration for the e-invoice. So this one is register for the testing server. Okay, so for the actual one is under here. Okay, under the My Tax website, which you submit all your tax filing is under this website. So this one is the actual one. Okay, so I will go through with you how to do the registration for the e-invoice for first time. Okay, but I won't log in into the My Tax because I don't have the demo ID or what. Okay, so I will just show you the picture. Okay, so if you not yet register the e-invoice, right? And then if you want to do the linking, so actually you can register the testing first lah. Okay, or you want to register for both also can, it's up to you. Okay, so I will just go through the step with you. Okay, first you have to log into the My Tax, or maybe you log in into the pre-production also can. Okay, so you just put in the director IC and the password, and then you click submit. Okay, after that you will come to this page. Okay, you just click on the My Invoice on top here, the button. Okay, and then it will prompt out this page for you. Okay, so you may just scroll down to the bottom, and then you tick the I accept the terms and conditions, and then you click continue. Okay, next. Okay, so this page is your company information. You have to double check and see whether anything you want to do changes or not. Okay, so you have to double check. Okay, next page is you have to put in your notification email. And then this one, the notification language, usually we choose as English lah. Okay, so you click save. Okay, after that, it will come on this page, which is the registration completed. Okay, so the registration is very easy only. Just do for one time will do lah. So this one is one time setup. So if you already registered, you don't need to go through for this step lah. Okay, so after you're done, still got another 2 steps you need to do, which is you have to register the ERP. Okay, and also you have to register the intermediary. Okay, so still got 2 steps you need to do. Okay, so what is the ERP? Okay, ERP is you want to authorize the accounting software to connect with the RSG My Invoice portal lah. Okay, like for example, right now we are using the SQL account, right? Okay, so you have to let the IRB know that actually we are using the SQL accounting software, which is the authorized accounting software to do the e-invoice submission. Okay, so we have to do for this step lah. Okay, so also the same, you log in to the My Tax, okay, My Invoice, or maybe the pre-production now, okay, also the same. Okay, after you click, so this one will be the page after you do the registration for the e-invoice. Okay, so you just go to the top corner here, the right hand side, like, okay, you click the arrow key down, and then you click on the view taxpayer profile. Okay, you have to double check and see this one is your company name lah. Okay, you click on it, and then you scroll down to the bottom, you will see this one register ERP. Okay, so you have to do the registration. Okay, after you click the register ERP, so it will show out this page. Okay, so the ERP name, you maybe put the SQL account ERP. Okay, and then the client secret expiration. Okay, you put the maximum, which is 3 years. Okay, because they just give the options, maximum is until 3 years only. So you just put as 3 years. And then you tick the checkbox for the primary ERP system, and then you click register. Okay, so after you click the register, the next page is system will generate the client ID, client secret 1 and 2 for you lah. Okay, this one is generated by the IRB. Okay, so you have to use this information and then you paste it into the SQL. Okay, like for example, the client ID, you click this one, the copy icon here, and then you go to here. Okay, just now the page, just now the company profile here, right? Okay, so see whether you register under the My Tax or maybe the pre-production. Okay, if you are registered under the My Tax, so you have to paste the information under the production ERP, the client ID here. Okay, so you may just click on this button lah. After you click the copy icon inside the My Tax website. Okay, after you click this button, this one, and then come back to SQL, you click this one. Okay, system will show the information here lah. Okay, for the client ID that you copied just now. So same for the another tool, which is the client secret 1 and 2. Okay, this one. Okay, after you're done, you can click on the register ERP. Okay, so if you got register for both server, which is for the testing, you also got register. Also the same, you have to click on the copy icon from the pre-production deck and then you paste it to here. Okay, so both server will be using different of the client ID and the client secret 1 and 2 lah. Okay, so this is the register ERP. Okay, next we have to register the intermediary. Okay, what is intermediary? Okay, intermediary is, okay, STN actually provided for 2 options, okay, to for business lah, to issue the e-invoice. Okay, one is through the my invoice portal manually, which is you have to log in into the my tax, and then you have to key in all the information needed, and then you do the submission by yourself. Okay, this one is manually lah, through the my invoice portal. Okay, another way is via API integration, which is using the third-party software to do the invoice submission. Like we are using the SQL accounting software, which is the third-party software. Like IT team will do the integration, like maybe do the linkage, okay, and then link to the IRB server to do the invoice submission. So you have to let the IRB know that what kind of method that you're using to do the submission lah. Okay, so right now we have to register the intermediary. Okay, also the same, you log in, my tax, and then click the my invoice. Okay, also the same, you click the arrow key down and then you select the view taxpayer profile. You scroll down to the bottom. Okay, just now we already complete the register ERP. Now we will go to the add intermediary. Okay, and then yeah, so this page will show up. Okay, so this one you have to put the TIN number, SSN number, and also the company name. Okay, this one we need to put our HQ information. So the information needed will be showing at here. Okay, so you just copy TIN number here and the SSN number and also the HQ company name. Okay, because they are the software provider, they develop this SQL software, so we have to input their information. Okay, so this one you have to be careful. I mean, this one do not put your company details. This one have to put in the HQ details. Okay, so you just copy the information here. Okay, after that, you just click for continue. Okay, next, you have to put the representation period. Okay, usually I will put as 3 years, same as the client secret expiration just now. So between that, if already hit the 3 years, so IRB will send an email and then will inform us. So maybe at that time we have to renew the expiration again for both like just now the ERP and also the intermediary. Okay, so both you just put as 3 years will do. Okay, after that the permission here, this one, all of this you have to turn on. Okay, because the default one is turned off, so you turn on for all of this, and then you save intermediary. Okay, after you're done, you come back to the SQL accounting here. You click this one, test intermediary. Okay, so you have to wait for a while. So later on, this one, the left-hand side corner will show up the green tick here. Hold on, because I already clicked the test intermediary, have to wait for a while. Okay, you see this one, okay, this one is you already register the intermediary. You see all the green tick is up here. Okay, so this is how you do the linking for the e-invoice. Okay, if you right now you're still not just at the e-invoice, right? You also can do this setting first Okay, it's up. Okay, and then for this one, the testing, you want to register or not, it's up to you. It's not the compulsory one. Okay, if it feels like the testing one, I mean the step is very complicated to let you do the registration, and then you don't want to do the setup for the testing also can. So if you want to do like maybe testing the e-invoice, how to use it, right? Actually, you can using my way. Like actually this one I'm using the cloud one. Okay, because all this information HQ already linked for us. Okay, so we're just using the data here, and then we can just using like testing how the e-invoice works. Okay, so actually this website is under here. Okay, hold on. I log out for this one first. Okay, you go to this website, connect to sql.com.my. Okay, if you want, you click it, you go to this website, okay, and then this one live demo. This one you can click this one SQL account e-invoice. Okay, and then you will come to this page. Okay, this one maybe is the last person using it, so you may just close all the things. Okay, you see the information here, the company profile, my invoice. They already this one say first. Okay, so they already put in all the information needed. Okay, so you may just using this data to do the testing for the e-invoice. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so this one GST is for last time GST period use. So this one you just ignore. Okay, and then this is the SST. Okay, this one SST you may ignore first. If you are the SST registering company, right? Okay, you can go to the on top here, SST/GST. You click it, and then you click start SST now. Okay, this one SST effective date, you have to refer from your letter, which is the Tarik Kuat Kuasa. Okay, you refer from there, the date stated is on when, so you may just follow the date lah. Okay, like for example, the SST is start from 1st of July 2025. Okay, and then you just click next. Okay, see whether you are registered under the sales tax or service tax. So you have to put in the number. Okay, the number also is stated on the letter lah. I think it is on top of the right hand side top corner. Okay, so you may just refer from there for the SST number. Is it okay? So for this one, I just simply put it. Okay, and then this is the account code. This one you don't need to do anything. Next. Okay, this one you have to select a service tax if your company is registered for the service tax. Okay, finish. Okay, so I have to relog on. Okay, so right now we come back to the company profile here. You see the SFT already have the information. Okay, if you are fall under the special industry, which is maybe like F&B, so they are still charged at 6%, right? So you have to tick for this one. So whenever you issue the documents, the tax rate will also, will just tick as 6% only. Okay, for the special industry. Okay, if not, you just you no need to do anything, so it will just show as 8% okay, for normal tax rate. Okay, next is online payment. Okay, this one is the SQL another feature. Okay, so actually SQL can support for 3 types for the online payment, which is the DreepNow, iPay88, and the Razor. Okay, for the iPay88 and Razor is you have to subscribe their service, then only you can use this function. Okay, this two is actually something like if you do the online payment, right? So actually when you do the online payment, it will redirect you to a link, like maybe to a link like iPay88, and then you can do the online banking, something like that. Okay, so this one actually is the same also. Like maybe you issue the invoices to the customer, right? Okay, so when customer receive the invoice, if you already activate for this function, okay, so inside the invoice will have a button. Okay, no matter no matter the customer is open up using the phone or maybe using the computer, the button you can click on it. Okay, so it will have a pay now button at the invoice. So you click on it, so system will redirect you to the link to the payment gateway. Like for example, you subscribe the service for the iPay88. So when customer click on the pay now button, so we will redirect you to the iPay88, and then they can just make the payment by using maybe the online banking or maybe Visa or credit card, something like that. Okay, but they still have to subscribe their service, their plan. But for this one is free. This one actually is just like not the auto way, it's something like the manual way. Like this one is you attach your QR code. Okay, so customer have to scan the QR code and then they have to make payment by themselves. Like for example, maybe I want to using the touch and go to make payment. Okay, so I have to scan the QR code and then I have to put in the amount and then then only I can do the transfer. Okay, so this one can consider, this one is the half manual way, but this two is directly redirect to the payment gateway lah. Okay, for these two. Yeah, but right now I cannot show you because I don't have the ID and the password. Okay, I just let you know that SQL got this kind of the function. So if you're interested, you can ask for the support team, see whether they got any extra information. So see whether you want to subscribe or not lah. Okay, for this one. Okay, next is the email setting. Okay, this one you will just skip. This one is for those company, maybe they want to send the maybe statement or maybe invoices. Maybe they want to batch email to the customer. So maybe we have to do some setting inside the email setting here lah. Like for example, if you're using the Microsoft Outlook, right? Okay, so system will need to access your Microsoft Outlook, then only can blast the email to the customer, right? So inside here, you need to do some setting first, then only SQL can link to the Outlook. Okay, but this one is have to ask the support team to help you to do it lah, if you want to set up for this feature. Okay, and then some of the format are supported for this email, I mean the batch email only. Not all the format can be supported because inside the SQL we got two types of format. One is the FR3 and then one is the RTM. Only the FR3 format are supported using the batch email function. Okay, this one you may just ignore. Okay, this one is attachment, is also another feature lah. If you want, you can just activate it. I mean, you have to subscribe their service also lah. So this one attachment is actually at here. Okay, I just show you one of the example lah. Okay, like maybe the cash flow entry. I'm not sure that you realize that the left hand side here, I actually have the attachment, the button here. Okay, you click on it. Actually, this one you click and then you can attach file to SQL Drive. But this one also you need to subscribe their service, only can use it lah. Okay, so this function is actually like this. Okay, for example, this one is Facebook ads, right? So Facebook ads, actually you have the hard copy for the supporting, right? So you want to save for this supporting. Actually, you can upload this supporting to the SQL Drive, and then SQL Drive will keep it for you. So whenever maybe IRB come and audit you and then want you to I mean ask you to provide the supporting, right? So you can just direct go to the SQL Drive and then download for this one. Okay, so it is something like the cloud drive for this one, for the attachment. Okay, so these are all the features for the company profile. Okay, so after you done key in the information, make sure that you have to click the save button here lah. Okay, so this is the company profile. Okay, next we'll go to we need to setting our financial period. Okay, we go to the tools and then we go to options. Okay, and then we go to general ledger. Okay, so inside here we got two dates here. One is the financial start period, and then another one is system conversion date. Okay, financial start period is based on your company year end. Like for example, for this one testing company, they put as 1st of January 2024, which means system will detect the company year end is fall on 31st of December 2024. Okay, which means that based on the company year end, you have to backward to 12 months. Then that one will be your financial start period. Okay, so you may just put in the date. And then system conversion date is when you start using the SQL. Okay, if you are a new user, you may just put in both are the same will do lah. Okay, so for this one, it's only set up for one time only. So if you are the existing SQL user, you no need to do any changes on this part. Okay, so bottom one is the default account. Okay, this one is SQL matching the default account for you lah. So if you want to change, you can change. Okay, like maybe some of the company for the previously, maybe they use another software and then maybe they migrate the data to the SQL, right? So maybe the account code will be different. So you have to do the mapping again at here. Or maybe another case, which is maybe the sales account, you got create many sales account here. Like for example, you see this one got create like maybe the bedding accessories, furniture, lightning storage and others. Okay, you have to select which one is you use the most, which is majority you will use it. So you can set for that one as the default sales account. Okay, so same for others. Okay, so this part is like this only. Okay, next maybe miscellaneous. Okay, for the miscellaneous at here, you can change your decimal point. Okay, so inside the SQL, the default decimal point is 2. Okay, so if you want to increase the decimal point maybe to 4, okay, you can make changes at this part. Okay, like for example, maybe you have you got using the stock control. Okay, you want the stock quantity to show as 4 decimal point. Okay, so we go to the stock quantity here. Under the display format column, this one, you have to manually add in the 2-digit here. Okay, 2-digit in front and then 2-digit at behind. Okay, this is because of this one is the positive value. This one is the negative value. Okay, so same for the item selling price and the purchase price. If you want to increase the decimal point to 4 decimal point, you're using the same method. Okay, so this one will affect under the sales document, which is the selling price. And then this one will affect under the purchase and the stock document. Okay, because this one is the costing. Okay, and the bottom here, this one, okay, if you got using the project, make sure that this one is taking a document project. Because inside the SQL, we actually got 2 project. One is we call as document project. Another one we call as item project. Okay, document project is actually using in the balance sheet. Okay, so the item project will be using in the P&L. So if you want to do the filtering under the P&L and balance sheet, make sure that each of the document you got select the project code for these 2 fields. Okay, so later I will try to show you I mean what is the item project and what is the document project if I have the extra time. Okay. Okay, so next customer and supplier. Okay, just a normal one. Like if you want to change your default the default control account is which one you can change. And then this one is the credit terms, credit limit, and then this one is the sample debtor code lah. Okay, this one is the default one. So same for supplier as well. Okay, so I think these are the setting for the tools options. Okay, so after you're done, you just click on OK. Okay. So until here, got any question regarding the options part and the company profile? If no, I will go to the next step. All right, so I will go to the next part, okay, which is the account code. Okay, the account code, you go to GL, maintain account, okay, or maybe you can click on this icon here also can. Okay, both are the same lah. Okay, so these are the default account code that SQL generate for you. Okay, so you may double check and see whether which one you want to add on and then which one you don't want, you can just delete. Okay. Before you key in any transaction, you can delete any account code that you want. Okay. After, if you're already using for many years or you already key the transactions inside that account, you are no longer to delete the account code. Okay, because system not allow you to do so also lah. Okay. So you can go through and see whether which one you want to add on. Okay, like for example, I want to add on maybe like renovation. Okay, so renovation for this account code is actually fall under the non-current asset because renovation is my fixed asset lah. Okay, which means that if I want to add in the new account code, right? Okay, you have to know that this account code, I mean this new account code, you want to grouping under which part? Like for example, the renovation, I want to grouping under the non-current asset. Okay, so I have to, okay, if I want to create a new account code, I click on the non-current asset and then I click new. Okay, so this information you have to fill in. Okay, you have to check the sequence. Okay, now it's until the 200-400. So the new one will be 500, which is the renovation. Okay, click OK. Okay, so you see this one, the new one, renovation 200-500 will be fall under the non-current asset. Okay, after you create this one, right? So system will ask you, do you want to create an accumulated depreciation account for this renovation? If yes, you just click yes. So system will create for you lah, and then you may just click on OK. So make sure that the accumulated depreciation is taken as the special account type. Okay, so you see this two. Okay, this one have to create is because of, okay, I'm using maybe the motor vehicle as example lah. Okay, for example, you purchase a motor vehicle, right? Maybe like for this year, it's purchased under like maybe 100,000. Okay, for this one, the car. Okay, maybe for next year, the car value will be dropped, right? Okay, so you have to key in the depreciation value, then only you can get the new value for the car. Okay, so it is, so that's why we need to create for two accounts. One is you put in the costing, I mean the purchase pricing lah. Okay, and then the asset every year will be, will be decreased, right? For the value. So you have to input the depreciation value, that only you can get the level value lah. Okay, so this is the asset. Okay, and then you can see that this one actually, okay, I show you how to identify the level. Okay, for all of this big title, it's actually level 1. Okay, you see the green color wording lah. Okay, all of this is level 1. And then all of this is level 2. This one, this also is level 2. Okay, but you see this one, the bank account, this one is under the level 3. Okay, why we need to identify the level? Okay, I'll show you. Okay, for example, the bank is actually under the report, which is the balance sheet report. Okay, I'll show you. If I preview the balance sheet report right now, I go to GL, and then I go to balance sheet report. Okay, this one I just simply put the date. Okay, normal one, this one is this year 2 column. Okay, you see the default one is show up to level 2 only. So I show the result. Okay, so you see this one, cash at bank, total is about 280,000 plus, something like that. Okay, but you don't know that this amount is actually which account coming from, right? Okay, because actually under the cash at bank, okay, we have the Maybank, CIMB, and also UOB, and also the HSBC. So we don't know that this one 280 is actually which account showing up. Okay, so for this case, we have to increase the level to level 3, and then system will only show the sub level for this one. Okay, so now you know that this one 280 is actually come from the Maybank, come from the CIMB, and the another two lah. Okay, which means that if you don't know the level, right, so you only can show until level 2 only, so you can't see the details. Okay, so if you don't know how to identify the level, it's okay also. Maybe every time when you preview the report, you can just increase the level to level 3 or 4. So whenever you preview the report, it will, it will show out the details one lah. Okay, so I just show you how to check on the level for this part. Okay, just now we are create the account for level 2. Okay, this one is level 1. This one is level 2. Okay, so what if we want to create the account under the level 3? Okay, also the same, we have to using the same method. Okay, for example, right now, maybe I want to create a bank account, which is maybe public bank. Okay, so I want the public bank to be grouping under the cash at bank. So which means that if I want to create a new account, I have to click on the cash at bank, and then I click new. Okay, so you have to check the sequence. So until here, 005. Okay, public bank. And then the special account type, select as bank account. Okay, so right now the public bank is grouping under the cash at bank. Okay, so this one is how you create for the level 3. So for level 4, also the same. Okay, but if you maybe accidentally create under the wrong grouping, okay, like for example, this one, okay, this one I delete first. Okay, for example, you click on the current asset and then you click the new button. Okay, you see the PBB public bank is actually same grouping as the cash at bank, but actually I don't want the result like this. Okay, so this one is I wrongly create. Okay, so we can using another method, which is using the drag and drop function to rearrange again. Okay, so you hold for this account, you hold your mouse button, okay, you hold it, and then you drag to the grouping that you want. For example, cash at bank, then you release your mouse button. Okay, so system will ask you, do you want to drop accounts under cash at bank? So you just click yes. So you can see this one PVB will be rearranged and then grouping under the cash at bank. Okay, but this one got one condition. This one is provided that this account doesn't have any transactions, then only you can grouping under this. Okay, I give you another example. Okay, like for example, this one, the sales account. Okay, so all of the sales account here got the transactions inside. Okay, so how I identify that this sales account is actually got transactions inside. Okay, it's very easily. Go to the GL, you go to the print ledger report. Okay, you open date. I mean, you untick for this date, so you make it as open date. Okay, you search the account that you want to make it as the main parent's account. Okay, for example, bedding accessories, because I want to grouping the sub account under this one, the bedding accessories account. Okay, you see this one got transactions inside. Okay, between that, the condition that if I want to create a sub account, this one, the main account, cannot have the transactions. Okay, you see, I trying this one. I click this one. I know that this account already have the transactions, right? I click new. Okay, you see it will prompt out the error message. So there are transactions associated with this account, so operation failed. Okay, so you cannot create a sub account. Or if I using another method, which is the drag and drop function, right? Okay, I click this one. I click new. Okay, I create maybe something like this. Okay, I want this one, put it under this one. Okay, see, I drag it to here. Okay, so system asks whether want to drop more. So you click yes. Okay, so it will also come out this message. So which means that if you want to do the sub level to do the sub account, right? Make sure that this parent's account inside doesn't have any transaction inside it. If you already have the transactions, then SQL not allow you to do the sub account lah. Okay, just to let you know for this part. Okay, so these are all the account code lah. So mostly the expenses, you can double check and see whether which one you want to change or you want to delete also can lah. Since you doesn't have any transaction inside it, so you want to do the changes is very easy only. Okay, so this is the account code. Okay, so make sure that if this account got the special account type, you have to select up. Like for example, this one bank, you have to select as bank account. If you didn't select, system doesn't know that this one is actually one of the payment method. So if you do any payment, like maybe you receive the customer payment, or maybe you do the payment to the supplier, system will not show for this option inside the payment method. Okay, so same for others lah. Like maybe for this one, opening stock and the closing stock also. But expenses doesn't have any grouping, so you just create only lah. Okay, so the special account type here is empty. Okay, so this is the account code. Okay, next we'll go to the maintain opening balance. Okay, this one is only for those company already incorporate the companies for many years, but right now, maybe they just switch to the SQL. So we have to input the closing amount for the previous year. Okay, so this one will be our opening amount for SQL lah, okay, for this year. Okay, so how we key in the opening balance? Okay, you can just right click at the description here and then you click the full expense first. So, okay, so system will show out all the accounts here lah. Okay, for the balance sheet part only. For the P&L, it won't show at here. Okay, so you may refer from your last year balance sheet or maybe the last year audit report, and then you have to plug in the figure here. Okay, so very easy only. You check on your report, like for example, this one, the furniture and fitting. Last year figure is about like maybe 1,000. So you key in as debit side. And then this one is 500 for the depreciation. Okay, this one you have to refer from your last year report. But if you are the new incorp company, so you doesn't have the opening balance, then you may just skip for this step. Okay, so you have to input all the debit side and the credit side, and then you click the save button. Okay, but just a special part is the debtors and the creditors. Okay, because the debtors and the creditors, which is the customer and supplier, they will have the outstanding bill or maybe the overpaid payment or maybe the DN and CN. Okay, so I show you an example. If the customer still have the outstanding, so how you do it inside the SQL for opening balance. Okay, for example, this one, A home furnishing and service. Okay, so they still owe you the outstanding, I mean, they still owe you the amount lah. Okay, so for example, this one. Okay, if you click on the debit side, it will show up the button open invoice. It doesn't let you to directly key in the amount. Okay, so you have to key in the outstanding bill, or maybe the outstanding bill is DN, so you have to key in the DN lah. Okay, so I go to invoice. Okay, and then you click new. Okay, you select the customer. Okay, this one you have to input the outstanding bill number lor. Like for example, this one. Okay, and then last year maybe is this one. Okay, this date is actually is the date before this one. Okay, just now under the tools options here, you'll remember that this date, the system conversion date, right? This one just now I mentioned about is this is the period that you start using the SQL, which is your current transaction, which means that before that is your past transactions. Okay, so if I put as 31st of December 2023, which means it's a past transaction, so system will show out the past invoice here. Okay, which means that the date here you have to put is before the system conversion date. Okay, so system conversion date is the date that you will key in as current transactions right now. Okay, so I put as 31st of December 2023. And then this bill amount is about like maybe 500. So you're putting like this, and then you click save. Okay, this one is I key in like for each bill. Okay, so you can key in. Like another way, maybe you want to key in the lump sum amount also can. Okay, but the difference is when you print out the statement to the customer, right? If you key in as a lump sum amount, the customer doesn't know that this lump sum amount is actually come from which bill. So it's actually depends on you. If you are the freelance account, okay, you just want to key in the data entry only, and then you no need to send the customer statement to the customer, right? Maybe you just key in the data entry and then you submit the account. So for that case, you can key in the lump sum amount lah, because you just want the account to be tally with last year figure. Okay, but maybe for the business use, okay, you will send the statement to the customer, right? So I advise you to key in like each bill lah for the outstanding bill. So when customer receive the statement from you, they know that, oh, actually for last year, like maybe for example this one, 31st of December 2023, they still owe you for about like maybe 500. Okay, for this bill. Okay, so actually got two way how to key in the outstanding amount lah. One is by lump sum amount and one is by the bill amount. It depends on you using in which scenario. Okay. So this is the invoice. Okay, after you're done, you click save and then you refresh. Okay, you can see the 500 amount is at here under the debit side. Okay, for the customer, debit side is the outstanding amount. For the credit side is the overpaid amount. Okay, for the supplier, you just terbalik lor. Okay, terbalik, which means is for the supplier, credit side is the outstanding amount, debit side is the overpaid amount. Okay, you just remember for one side you do, and then for the another side is terbalik lah. Okay, so for the CN and the overpaid amount is also using the same method. Okay, for example, this one CR Technology Hub, maybe they overpaid to us. Okay, so also the same, under the credit side, you click it, so will come out this button, either the payment or maybe the CN. Okay, so you click it, and then you click new. Okay, so you select the customer. Okay, so for last year, maybe this OR number. Okay, so you see this one will show up as past payment. No? Okay, so maybe they overpaid for maybe like 500, so you just key in as 500 and then you click save. Okay, so you come back to here. You can see this one, the CR 500 is actually under the credit side lah. Okay, so if this year the customer, I mean you got issue any bill to this customer, actually you can offset with this one the overpaid 500 amount for this one. You started using, okay, May I know your company year end is on when? I mean your company closing is on which month? 2024. Okay. Uh okay, which means that your company closing is for on December. Okay. So you just started using SQL first April. Okay, so for the previous 3 months, the transactions you key in the previous software lah, for the January until the March one for the 2025. Manual system. Okay, so you decide you will key in back the previous transactions inside the SQL or not for the previous 3 months. If you decide want to key in back the previous 3 month transactions, okay, maybe not. Okay, because inside here got two options let you to choose. Okay, if you want to key in back the transactions, which is start from 1st of January 2025, okay, then the conversion date you can put as 1st of January 2025. If you want to key in. Okay. If you don't want to key in, then you may just put your system conversion date to the 1st of April 2025. And then for the previous one, you have to key in as the opening amount. Yeah, okay. So this one have to decide by yourself lah. See whether you want to using which way lah. Okay. So yeah, so this one is the opening balance. Okay, and then for your case just now, right? Okay, you see this one is only have the balance sheet part. So if your case, you put in something like this, okay. But I think I cannot save the date lah because this one testing company already have the data. This one. Okay, let's say if you put in the date something like this, right? Okay, this one is because of your year end is fall on December, so you put 1st of January because you want to let the system know that your company actually is closing on December. Okay, and then this one system conversion date. If you decide you do not want to key in back the transactions for the previous 3 months, you put in like this. Okay, so once you save it, right? So actually under the opening balance here, you will see the P&L item at the bottom. Okay, so you may just put in the closing balance as at March 2025, all the things you key in at here lah for the opening balance, together with the sales, purchases, and also the expenses for your case because your case will be special a bit. Okay, so this one is the opening balance. Okay, so next. Okay, after you key in the opening balance, right? Okay, if you have the stock value, you also need to put in the opening stock value. Okay, you go to GL, maintain stock value. Okay, you just click edit. Okay, so this one is you have to key in your closing stock value here. Okay, let's say you start using the SQL 2024. Okay, let's say. So if you want to put in the opening stock for 2024, which means that you have to input your closing stock value for 2023. Okay, so I switch it to 2023. Okay, maybe my year end is for on December. So I just insert the closing stock value. Okay, I save it. So which means that this closing stock value for 2023 will be my opening stock value for 2024. Okay, I show you the example. Okay, let's say you want to check the figure, right? Okay, you go to GL, print profit and loss. Okay, I straight away preview the report 1st of January 2024. Okay, and then normal report we're using is the this year 2 column lah. Okay, if you want to check on the year to date amount, okay, you just select for this report. Okay, you see this one, the opening stock at here. 8922 is the one that I keyed just now under the 2023 closing stock. Okay, this one is for those company got record the stock value lah. If your company doesn't have the stock value, then you may just skip for this step. Okay, so this one is is the opening balance and also the stock value. Okay, next I will go to the tools part, but I think I will make it like faster a bit. Okay. Okay, so under the tools part here, you can do the setting lah. Okay, do the maintenance part. Okay, so I will go through the first two. okay, which is the maintain user group and also the maintain user. Okay, so for these two, actually is you can control the access control for the user. Okay, like maybe for example, your company got many people will be access to the SQL, right? So maybe every employee they will have, I mean, maybe they in charge of different role, so they will have different kind of the access. Okay, so inside here you can set the access for them. Okay, I will be start showing under the maintain user group first one. Okay, so this one is the default one, admin. Admin will have the full access, so you no need to anything, you no need to do anything about the admin. So you click new. Okay, for example, your company got separate into different departments, like maybe the sales, purchase, account, stock, admin, and also the production. Okay, so each of the department, they will handle different kind of tasks and role, right? So they also have different kind of the controller. Okay, so I will show you about the sales one, just an example. Sorry. Okay, so I give you the name, like maybe the sales, and then I click save. Okay, so for bottom one, this one is actually is the ID. Because this one is the testing company, so they already create the ID at the beginning. But if yours one doesn't create, right? So you just can see the admin here lah. So this one you may just ignore first. Okay, you'll give it a name already, and then you go to the more, then you go to access control. Okay, so inside here you can do the access. Okay, like for example, for the sales department, they didn't in charge for the accounting part, right? So I want to close the access for the accounting part. Okay, like for example, group GL, you see all of this is very sensitive. Like maybe the cash flow entry, the bank reconciliation, and the report. All of this, maybe the sales department, they no need to check on it. Okay, so I want to close all this access. Okay, so how we untick for this one? Okay, you may just hold the mouse button, you hold it, and then you drag down to the bottom to the last partner. Okay, so system will highlight all the access here under the GL grouping, and then you just click on revoke. Okay, so system will untick for all the access under the group GL. Okay, this is just an example, okay, not the real one. Okay, because the access control still is depends on your company. Yeah, maybe some of the company they still allow them to check on it, so then you just leave it, no? Okay, because I just want to show you the example lah. Okay, and then for the sales one, okay, I allowed the sales team to access all the things, but maybe the delete function I will hide it. Okay, which means that I allowed them to open up the quotation as ODO. Okay, they can create the new transactions, they can edit the transactions, but I do not allow them to delete. Okay, so for this one, I have to untick for the delete one. Okay, you click on the first one, okay, and then you hold your shift button, and then you click on the last part. Okay, so system will highlight the portion here, then you click revoke. Okay, so right now only the delete here is unticked. So I click save, which means that the salesperson, they totally cannot access for the GL part, but they can access the full function for the sales, but I just close the access for the delete lah. Okay, this is one of the example. Okay, after you're done, you may just click on the save button. Okay, and then another one is under the tools here, you have to untick the options, which is for the maintain user group. Okay, this one you revoke first, and then this one also you can revoke lah. I'm not sure you guys will be using it or not, but I actually will ask the client to close for this 4 grouping lah. Later on, I will show you like what is the acceptable transaction date. Okay, this tool is actually you can set your control, right? So if the user know that how to use the SQL to change the access control, actually they will just directly go to the tools and then change the access by themselves. Okay, so I will close. Okay, so I will ask the user to close first lah. So this one, and also the overall acceptable transaction date. Okay, so you close for this 4, and then you click save. Okay, so after you're done, right now you have to create the login ID, no? Okay, so the grouping access already done create. So I right now have to create the user ID. Okay, so you go to tools, you go to maintain user. Okay, so you click new. Okay, this one code. Code is the login ID just now that I put as admin. So yeah, so maybe I put as sales one. Okay, this one you can put as different lah. Okay, but this one I just put as the same will do lah. Grouping is under the sales. Okay, mobile email and this one you just ignore first lah. This one is another feature which is using for the mobile approval function. But I think today I think I don't have the time to discuss with you for this one. Excuse me. Okay, so you have to remember for this one, this is your login ID. Okay, and then you click save, and then you go to the more here to reset the password. Okay, once you click the reset password, it will show the new password for this one. So this one will be your temporary password for this ID. Okay, you'll no need to jot down anything because system will already copy the password. Okay, you just click yes. Okay, you remember the login ID here, and then you go to file, log on. Okay, this one you put the login ID. This one password, you paste the temporary password just now. Either you use the Control V, either you right click and then click the paste button here. Okay, so both are the same. So you can see this one is the temporary password. Then you click log on. Okay, so system will prompt out this message, password has expired and then need to change. Click OK. So put in your current password, you paste again your temporary password. So which means that your temporary password have to paste for twice. So one is the login page just now, and then one is the password expired. Okay, so click OK. So this one will be your new password. Okay, so for this page, this one got the case sensitive. So make sure that if you key in the password inside have the capital letter, so when you log in, you have to put in the capital letter as well lah. Okay, so click OK. So password change. So you see bottom here, right now I'm logged in the sales one ID. Okay, so you see on top here, you see the GL button is already disappeared because just now I already hide the access right for the GL, which is the accounting part. Okay, but under here, the icon here, the general ledger, we still can see the button here, right? Okay, what if maybe the user accidentally click on it? Okay, for example, I click on the maintain account. Okay, system still not allowed to let the user to open up lah, because I do not have the permission to do so. Okay, so if you click OK, so nothing will happen. If you click override, so maybe they need the superior to put in the admin password. Okay, and then another way is using the online approval. Like just now, that I show you that maybe the right hand side we didn't do the setting. Okay, but actually we do have the function for the online approval. Like maybe they will send a message to the superior. Okay, either by WhatsApp or maybe by email. So when the superior receive the message, right? So maybe they can just directly say whether want to approve your access or not for this one. Okay, but right now I think today I don't have the time to show you lah, but just let you know that we have this kind of function. Okay, so for this one, okay, so we go to the sales. Okay, sales all we can access, but only the documents here, for example, invoice. Okay, you see the right hand side, we can click new, we can click edit, but for the delete here, you click on it, we don't have the right to delete lah. Okay, so also the same, we'll give you the three options here. One is okay, so nothing will happen. And then this one override need the approval from superior. And then this one is send a message through the WhatsApp or email and then get the approval from the superior lah. Okay. I'll just show you the result. Okay, so I log in back to the admin. Okay, so I already go through with these two. Okay, next is the user access right assignment. Okay, this one actually is linked with the maintain formula. Okay, but this one I just show you an example. You don't need to do anything. I just show you like the result. Okay, like for example, I go to the sales invoice. Okay, you see the left hand side here, we got total 18 invoices here, right? So got different kind of the company and a different currency. Okay, what if I want to show maybe I want to let the sales one ID just now, just to show the currency, which is the Malaysia ringgit only. But for the foreign currency, no need to show. Okay, we do the setting like this. We go to tools, maintain form mode, click new. Okay, I just simply give it a name lah. Okay, form, maybe it's invoice. Okay, so I want to do the filtering for the invoice part. Customize filter. This one just as currency code equals this one. Okay, so the setting is like this. So currency code is equals to this one is the default MYR code. No? Okay. Okay, after that, you come back to the user access right assignment. Okay, see which user is entitled for this form mode. Okay, so admin can check off, and then sales maybe no need, no need. Just the sales one is entitled. Okay, let's say. Okay, this one. Okay, you see just now it's about 80 invoices here, right? So right now you see it already reduced become 11 invoices. So you see the currency here is only showing the MYR invoices only. So for the foreign currency, you cannot show at here. Okay, this is like do the filtering, and then let the user can check on like what kind of the documents can check only. Okay, but I just using one of the example, I like using the currency. If you want to filter by the project also can, you want to filter by the company name also can. Okay, it's up to you. Depends on the field at here. You see the invoice number, the left hand side here, you can see the very small icon. You click on it. So here are the field you can do the filtering lah. Okay, but if you want to filter like maybe like the account code or maybe the item code, that one cannot, because that one is considered the details part, and then the details part actually is doesn't show at here. Okay, this one is the document part lah. Okay, so logging back to the admin ID. Okay, so next I will go to the document number. Okay, this one is the running number for all the document. Okay, so inside here you can do some setting like if you want. Okay, for example, I go to the official receipt. Okay, so this is the default format, which is the OR, and then follow with the 5-digit number. So you can see the sample at the bottom here, the green color one. Okay, so inside here, if you want to do some changes, like you want the OR number to show as like maybe OR dash 2507, and then followed by the 4-digit number. Okay, let's say you want the OR number showing like this lah. Okay, so we have to do some changes on the format part. Okay, so this one OR dash, okay, and then we open the curly bracket, and then we put the alliance. We put YY stand for year, and then this one stand for month, and then we close the curly bracket, and then we put the dash again, and then this one is the 4-digit, right? Okay, we put .4D. This one is the format for the digit now, so you cannot delete the percentage. Okay, so put something like this. You see, if I click on this one, you see the format will change. So right now will become OR dash, depends on the document date. Right now is 2025 and then July. So 2507, and then follow with the document number, which is number 9. Okay, so you just remember that this format, if you want to let the system detect the document date. Okay. Okay, next is you can do the changes, which is the frequency. Okay, frequency is depends on you. You want to reset the document number by monthly or by yearly, or totally don't want to reset. Okay, if never reset is, okay, right now it's number 9, right? So you will just continue use it no matter how many years. Okay, it will just continue loop lah. Okay, and then next is bi-monthly, which means that every month the document number will start with 1. Okay, let's say right now maybe is 30th of June. The last number is about like maybe 30. So for the bill that you issue on July, 1st of July, the number will start with 1. Okay, this one is reset by monthly lah. And then this one is reset by yearly. Okay, so it depends on you, you'll prefer which one. Okay, for example, reset by monthly, I click it. So yeah, you just click on yes. And then you just click save. Okay, this one you don't need to do anything. You don't need to add in for the 12 months. System will detect the date when you click the document date. Okay, I show you more. For example, this one is OR, right? OR, okay, for example, I received the payment from customer. Okay, I go to customer payment. I go to new. Okay, I select the customer that make payment to us. For example, this one. Okay, so maybe they pay for like 1900, let's say. So I take the bill. Okay, you see right now, the OR number is capture the date for today. Okay, if we change the date to maybe 30th of September, you see the OR number will also change. Okay, but if you didn't save the document, right, you see the document number here, you refresh again, system will also already create the data for you. Once you already trigger the document date, right, actually system will already create the record under the document number here. Okay, so you no need to do the setting like you have to like create the 12 months here. No need for doing for this partner. Okay, so after you're done, you just click on the save button if you receive the money from this customer lah. Okay. Okay, so this is the document number. Okay, next is the acceptable transaction date. Okay, acceptable transaction date is for those company already using the SQL for many years, like maybe start from the GST period using until right now. Okay, so if you want to block the transactions for previous year, you have to using this function. Okay, but you have to take note that this one acceptable transaction date is actually talking about like the acceptable date, okay, which is you can do the amendment. Okay, you can create the transactions between that. Okay, I give you the example. For example, you already closed the account until 2024 December. Okay, so you already do the audit, you already do the tax submission, all of this. So you don't want to let any user to change the previous record. Okay, so for this case, for the acceptable transaction date, so we have to input the date, which is 2025. Okay, because start from 2025, we only can allow to do the new transactions and then do the amendment. Okay, so for this one, you click the plus button, you put 1st of January 2025, then you click save. Between the system will detect this date. Okay, after this date, system is allowed you to do the changes, to do the new transactions. But before that, system will prompt a message if you maybe accidentally change the things. Okay, I'll show you. Okay, let's say I go to customer invoice. You see all of the data here is 2024, right? Okay, what if I change one of the data? Okay, for example, I change this one 2023, and then I click edit. Okay, the amount I change to maybe 600, and then I click save. Okay, so system will prompt out this message. You see the transaction date for this one is actually false outside the acceptable transaction date, so do you want to save it? But if you click yes, system still allow you to save it. Okay, so you have to be careful. If system prompt out this message, you have to double check and see. Okay, but if you totally don't want to let the user to prompt out this message, because maybe the user doesn't know that this message is actually talking about what, right? So maybe they just directly hit the yes button, then the record will be changed. Okay, so if you want to prevent for this kind of the scenario, okay, we got another way, which is, but this one is not applicable for the admin ID, because the admin ID have the full access. No matter you close the access, like anything else, okay, they will just give you the options, which is yes or no. Okay, so I show you for this one. Okay, just now you'll remember that under the access control here, okay, this one tools, we got untick for this one, maintain acceptable transaction date, and also untick for this one, override. Okay, between that for the sales one ID, this one, we already untick for these two options. This one is totally blocking the user to do the changes. If they accidentally do the changes, also never mind, because they will prompt out the message, which is okay, override, and online approval for that three button. Okay, so I show you. Okay, I go back to the log on, and then I switch the ID to the sales one. Okay, see, if I change this one, okay, I using the same invoice. I change it to 600. Okay, I click save. Okay, so you see the result will show as 3 buttons, which is okay, nothing will happen. And then if you click as override, so you need the approval from the superior, so they need to insert the ID. Okay, what if superior put in the ID, right? I mean. So you see the message will change it, become yes or no. Okay, so if superior feels that this transaction, if you just change the description, that doesn't affect the amount or anything else, so they allow you to do the changes. So you may just click on the yes button. So you see this one, after you click yes, so the new amount will be saved. Okay, so another one is will show for this one online approval lah. Okay, so this one will be more secure a bit compared with the admin just now, but this one is only applicable for other users. So for admin, if they worry about that, maybe they accidentally click on the yes button, so you can create another ID, which is the admin one, but have the full access. Just close the two access, which is the acceptable transaction date and the override one. Okay. Okay. So next I will go to the agent area and the company category, just a simple setting. Okay, if you want to do the filtering for the agent area and the company category, so you may just create the code. Like for example, the sample here, maybe they just put the name like Ashley, so they just put the same. So whenever you issue any documents, like maybe these cases or this company, it belongs to Ashley, so you may just select the Ashley code. Okay, so when you do the filtering, if you want to filter the maybe you want to preview the report, you want to filter the agent, you can just directly filter the Ashley. Okay, next is terms. Okay, so this one is the default terms days that SQL provided for you, which is the 30 days, 60 days, and also the cash on delivery. So if you have different of the terms days, you can create by yourself, like maybe for 90 days, for example, like this one, 90 days. Okay, so this one term type, due in number of days, 90, and you click save. Okay, so right now we have the 90 days here lah. Next is the currency. Okay, so usually SQL just have the default currency, which is the MYR. So if you have the customer or supplier, which is foreign currency, so you have to create the currency here lah. Okay, but if you purchase the SQL, which is the basic package, I think that this one, the multi-currency, doesn't include the package. Okay, so if you have the foreign one, so maybe you have to upgrade the package to the pro package, or maybe you have to add on for this module, then only you can create the currency code for the foreign currency. Okay, so for your case, if you want to create the new currency code, right, you click the new button. Okay, so you have to fill in the information here lah. Okay, I'll be using the USD to show you. Okay, so this one, you put the currency, which is the USD, so symbol should be the same. Okay, and then this is the ISO code. This is the code that you have to mapping with the IRB for the e-invoice use. Okay, so you have to select for this one. So USD, you have to select the USD. Okay, but for the special one, for the Chinese yuan, okay, actually sometimes customer will put as renminbi, RMB, but actually inside the ISO code is see I type RMB, it doesn't show up. So it's actually mapping with the CNY Chinese yuan for the renminbi lah. Okay, this one is just the special one, so you have to take note on this part. Okay, and the description, this one US dollar. And the buy rate and the sell rate, this one is just a reference. So if you don't want to put, you just maintain as one is okay for you lah. Okay, because when you issue the documents, you can also manually amend the rate from that document. Like for example, today I issue an invoice to the foreign buyer, which is the US dollar. Okay, I just go to the Bank Negara Malaysia to check for the exchange rate, and then I just amend directly inside the invoices. Okay. And the bottom one is the fixed rate. Okay, maybe some of the company they will have the fixed rate for the period. Like for example, maybe each of the week they will have the same rate. Like for example, this week, which is maybe 7 until maybe 30 for this week. Okay, so maybe they were using the same rate, which is like maybe buy rate and the sell rate is about like 4.2, something like that. So you can set the rate at here. So whenever you issue the documents, no matter it's sales or maybe the purchase, so system will detect the rate that you key in at here during this period. So you'll show out the exchange rate now. Okay. So this one is the maintain currency. Okay, next is the payment method. Okay, payment method, I think you no need to do much setting at here. Just maybe if you have the foreign currency bank account, so you have to select the currency code at here lah. Because the default one is captured as the data dash, which is the Malaysian ringgit. Okay, so for a case, if you have the foreign bank account, you have to change the currency code. But this one also is another additional module you have to add on if you have the foreign currency bank account. Okay, which is we call as the advanced currency. That one we have to manually, I mean, you have to add on the module lah. Then only you can change the currency code. Okay, and the bottom part for this one is you can set the running number. Okay, I'm not sure that maybe some of the company, maybe different kind of the pay method, they will have different kind of the running number. Okay, like maybe for example, the company have two banks. One is maybe Maybank, another maybe is CIMB. So for Maybank and CIMB, they were using different kind of the running number to differentiate. Okay, so for this case, you can setting the running number first. Okay, so whenever you're using what kind of the pay method, system will directly detect the pay method that you use, and then they will just prompt out the running number that you set at here. Okay, I'll show you an example. I'm not sure that you guys got using this way or not lah, okay? But this one is not the mandatory one. This one is for those company got using this kind of practice, then you can using this method to do the setting lah. Okay, let's say I create another one which is for the Maybank MBB. Okay, you see in front we already add in for the MBB here lah. Okay, so for the Maybank this one, I think I close first to refresh the setting. Maybank, edit, OR number. This one I select this one MBB. I click save. Okay, for example, I received the payment from the customer. Okay, you see I click new. Okay, right now, which is Maybank, right? We capture as Maybank. You see the running number at here is start from this one is start with the MBB. Okay, what if I change the pay method to another one, which is a CIMB? You'll see the running number will become default again. Okay, so this one you can, between that you can preset earlier for the running number lah. If you got this kind of the scenario, like you differentiate the PV and OR number based on different pay method. Okay. Okay, next is the project. Okay, project is just this one, yeah. You just click new and then put in the code and description will do. And the project value and cost is just the amount. I mean the reference only. It doesn't, I mean the system doesn't monitor the project value and the cost for you. It's just for the reference lah. So if you want to put, if you don't want to put also can, it's up to you. Just the important part is the code and description if you got using the project lah. Okay, next is okay, this one audit trail. Okay, audit trail is actually you can trace back the history record. Okay, let's say this one the date. Okay, this one is the amendment date or the creation date. Okay, event, if you want to check on the insert date, you can tick on insert and then you click apply. Okay, all of this is I do the changes on this morning. You see this one, GL account SST. Okay, this one is just now I start the SST system. So this one is the changes. And then at the bottom here, okay, you see the renovation that I created just now. And then I got delete the public bank. And then I got insert back again. Okay, so you can see all the details from here, like on when and then what user doing this action, and then what is the event type. Like maybe they're doing the insert, edit, or maybe delete. Okay, you can click on the plus button here to check on the details. Okay, like the old value and the new value. Okay, you see this one, the invoice old value is empty because this one, yeah, this one is the new value. Okay, you can check on the details. This one is check the whole system. Okay, but if you want to check for that certain documents, you can also do it like this. Okay, like for example, sales invoice. You want to check on like certain documents, like for example, this invoice. Okay, you want to check the history for this invoice only. Okay, on top here, right click, and then you click on the audit trail. So system only check on the history for these documents only. Lor. So you can check the old value here is empty, and then now this is the new value. Between this event type is insert, lor, because at the beginning it's empty, and then now insert the value already. Okay, so what if I make changes on this one? If I change this one, the customer to this one, okay, I click save. Okay, I right click, and then I check the audit trail again. So you can see this one is edit. Okay, so at the beginning, this one is captured as Jandela spectrum. And then now I already changed it to the A-home finishing. Okay, so you can check the details from here. Lah. Okay, so this is the audit trail. Okay, next is the report designer. Report designer is you can do changes on the report format. Okay, for the green color one is the SQL default format. If you untick for the standard, you can see the blue color one. This one is the customized format. Like maybe you want to add in some field, or maybe you want to do any changes. So supporting will help you to do the changes and then save as a new format. So that one will be the blue color one. Okay, so inside here, you can delete the format if you're no longer using it, or you want to rename the format also can, or you want to do the clone also can. Clone is something like, okay, for example, some of the company, they didn't issue the DO under the delivery order module here. Okay, they will just straight away directly print out the DO from the invoice part. Okay, between that, after I save the invoice, right? Actually, I will just direct print out the DO and invoice format under the invoice module. Okay, so for that case, we have to clone the DO format to the invoice format. Then only we can print out both inside the invoice partner. I'm not sure that you guys understand what I'm talking about or not. Okay, so actually it's something like this lah. Like for example, invoice. If I preview, we just can see the invoice part, right? But I want to print out the DO at the same time. So I will clone the DO format to put it into the invoice here. So between that, I can select DO and invoice at the same time to print out. So I no need to go to the DO, and then I issue, and then I print out, something like that. Lah. Okay, just an example only lah for this part for the clone. Okay, so for the tools, I already go through with you. Okay, next we'll go to the customer. Okay, we have to insert the customer data. Okay, so we go to customer, maintain customer. Okay, at the beginning, you will see this one is empty lah because you didn't insert anything. This one will show as empty. Okay, you just click on the new button here and then you insert the details. Okay, I will using one of the example to show you lah. For example, this one, Jandela Spectrum. Okay, this one is the real company got registered for the SSM. Okay. Okay, this one is your customer company name. Okay, and then this one the control account. We usually select as the trade debtors lah because they are the I mean they are your customer, so should be the trade one lah. Okay. And then this one, the code, right? You don't need to do anything on this one. This one actually system will automatically detect the first alphabet, and then they will check on the number of the sequence and then create for you. Okay, let's say I show an example. Okay, for example, I put as resolve. Okay, the first alphabet is W. Okay, and then the sequence of the number system will check for you like whether the W already got any data or not. Okay, you see I put the resolve and then I click on other place. Okay, you see this one would be the new customer code for resolve, which is the 300-W first alphabet, and then follow with the third one. Okay, because number 1 and 2 already taken by other customer data lah. So the new one will be number 3. Okay, but you no need like have to copy and then you paste it to here. No need lah. So you just save. So system will help you to paste the data to the on top for this one. Okay, so you maintain as new will do. Okay, so I come back to here. Okay, and then the right hand side here, this one is your SSM number. Okay, after you put in the data, right? Okay, also the same, you click the search button. This time will help you to look for the SSM number, new and old one, and also the T number lah. Okay, for the Sendirian Berhad. You see, if you already click the OK button, they will help you to fill in the T number. Also the same for the enterprise, you have to retrieve their T number from them because they are quite special. Okay, so if you want to retrieve the information from the enterprise, right? Okay, actually, we have another way. Okay, if you right click at here, we have the create info request. But because right now we are using the testing company, so I cannot show you. But actually, if you're using your own data, right? Okay, I'm using the testing company here. Okay, let's say this one Resolve Solutions. Let's say this one is enterprise company lah. Okay, I want to retrieve the data from them because you see all my data is empty. Okay, so for the e-invoice part, the mandatory part is the center here, and also the SSM number, and also for the SST number, okay? So I want to let them to fill in all the information for me. Okay, so actually you can right click, create info request, or you can right click at here for the right hand side panel also can. So both also can, it's up to you. Okay, after you click, so it will show out the link. So these are the information the customer need to fill in for you. You click this on the copy icon here. Okay, and then you can paste this link to the WhatsApp or email to them and then ask them to help you to fill in the info. Okay, let's say I am the PIC for the Resolve. Okay, I received this link. Okay, then I go to here to paste. Okay, so these are the information. Okay, this is your company name, but this one I'm using the testing one. Okay, so this is your SSN number, and then this is the T number. Okay, and then this one you have to fill in the company details like maybe Resolve SSN number is which one, and then the T number, and then you click validate. Okay, or you can using this one, the autofill by using the taxpayer QR code. I'm not sure you realize that under the e-invoice, my invoice portal, okay, actually you go to the view taxpayer profile, they have a part you can generate the QR code. Okay, so actually you can using this one, the QR code, and then you load the QR code. So they will help you to fill in the details. Okay, so name, as SSD number, if you have to fill in because this is the mandatory field. And then the phone number, email, okay, address, city, postcode, and then this one is the state. Okay, so all the information you already done create, you click the submit button. So okay, and then we come back to here. Okay, this one is after customer already done keying the transactions. Yeah, keying the info to you. Okay, so maybe they WhatsApp to you that saying that they already done submit the info. So for us, so we have to retrieve back the info. Okay, so we retrieve the info. We got two ways. One is you come back to this customer, you right click, you can retrieve the info. This is one of the way. But if you retrieve, you just retrieve info for this customer only. Okay, what if you send the info request for many customer, okay, and then you want to retrieve all in once? Okay, actually you can right click and then you batch retrieve the info lah. If you got send out the info request like maybe for the 10 companies, okay, you send it out to them already, and then they also feedback, they already done fill in the information. So right now you want to retrieve back. Okay, you can click on this one, batch retrieve info, done. You double click inside, you see all the information already filled in for you. Okay, so this is how you get the information if the information is not complete. Okay, so yeah, then come back to here. Okay, so this is the customer. Okay, so we come back to here for the center one. Okay, so this is the address. Okay, and then country you select as Malaysia, and then this is the postcode. After you key in the postcode, system will select the city and the state for you lah. And then this is the attention, phone number, and email. Okay, all of this part is mandatory field for e-invoice. Just the email is optional. But right now, I think email is also it's very important because if you want to send any documents to them, you can just email to them, right? So I think you can just get the email address from them lah. Okay, so this is for the billing one. So if you have the delivery address, right? So you want to add in, okay, you click on the plus button here under the branch. Okay, you give it a name, like maybe the delivery. Okay, so you insert the delivery details here. Okay, let's say lah. So maybe some of the document they will show the address both inside the documents, right? Like left hand side maybe is billing address and the right hand side is the delivery address. So which means that when we want to deliver the products to them, so maybe we have to follow the delivery address. Okay. Okay, and the bottom one, okay, if you got do the setting just now under the tools here, if you got set up for the area agent, you got create a code lah. So you can select from here. And this is the currency. Okay, this one is very important if this buyer is foreign buyer. So you have to select the currency code. Okay. This one, you can change the currency whenever there are no transactions under these chapters. If you already have any transactions inside this customer, right, system is not allow you to change the currency code. Okay, which means that if this customer got using two currency code, one is maybe RM, another one is USD. So you have to create for two customer code because inside the SQL, each customer only can select for one currency code, cannot select the multiple one. Okay, and then this one is the credit terms. So you can set the default credit terms for how many days. So whenever you issue the invoice or maybe the documents to them, so it will directly capture the term state at here. Okay, the statement in aging on, you just leave it as default. Okay, this one is open item is showing the details, and then it's based on the invoice date for the aging. Okay, price tag is using for the stock one. I think this one you just skip. Okay, and the e-invoice submission, you just put as e-invoice. E-invoice is you will issue the each invoices to them lah, not the consolidate one. Because the consolidate one is for those maybe they are running the F&B business. So maybe most of the consumer they don't need the e-invoice. So you just like submit the consolidate e-invoice to them. Okay, so you just submit the sales amount in bulk and then submit as consolidate and then inform the IRB your sales amount lah. Okay, for the consolidate. Which one? Uh, oh, okay. I show you again. Oh, you mean that the customer already fill up the details for you and then how to retrieve back the data lah. Okay, actually you got two ways to retrieve back the data. One is you come back to these customer details. Okay, you right click and then you can click this one, retrieve info. Okay, but this one retrieve info is only retrieve for this company only lah. Okay, but if you want to retrieve for batch, okay, you don't need to keep, I mean, you don't need to double click the company inside. Okay, you just straight away come to here, right click, and then you can batch retrieve the info. So see which one is you prefer lah. Both are the same lah. I can share you the link if you forgot the steps. Hold on. This one, this one. Hold on. I try to search the link for you. Search e-invoice. Yeah, this one. I share this link for you in case you forgot already, so you can refer back. So inside got all the information like how to create the link and then how to retrieve back the data. Okay, so actually this link will is also it's a guideline for how to using the SQL. Not only for the e-invoice, other things also like first time set up, how to do it, and then the master data and the sales, all of this. So you can refer from here also. Okay, so we come back to here. Okay, the credit control. If you want to set the credit limit and the overdue limit, you can set at here. So if the customer already exceed the limit, so what kind of actions you will take? Like, you want to totally block from issue any documents to them also can. Okay, and then this is the note. Okay, this is the OSSM number. Okay, just now if you click the search button, right? So if you hit the OK button, so system will help you to fill in the OSSM number as well. And the bottom one note is likely to jot down the notes for this customer. And then text. Okay, so for the SST here, this one is the customer SST number. Whether they register the sales tax or service tax, they also need to provide for you. Because this one is the mandatory field for the e-invoice. Okay. And then this one is the SSM number for new. This is the TIN number. Okay, if they have the exemption number, like maybe the FW cert, so you can key at here, and then they have the expiry date, you can update at here as well. Hold on. Okay, and then this is the bank account. Okay, bank account, I think this one you just skip because I think this one we seldom use it because this one is when we're facing like customer overpaid the amount and then we want to refund back the amount to them. So you can refer the data from here. But this one is not the mandatory lah. So if you have, you can update. If you don't have, you can just leave it. Okay, just the important one is the general page. Okay, and also the tax page. Okay, so if both of these page you're already done, then you may just click on the save button. Hold on, I check the hold on, I check on the question. You mean your boss is pay on behalf first to the supplier, right? And then now company want to pay back the amount to the directors. Uh, okay. So your boss pay the supplier bill first, and then company will pay back the amount to your boss lah. Okay, all right. Okay, so for this case, okay, for the purchase, you sure is key in the supplier name, which is the company name lah. Okay, so the purchase you key in as normal. Okay, but when you do the payment, right? I'm not sure that your account inside have this account code or not, which is the amount. Okay. Amount, yeah, this one. Director's loan from, or maybe another wording, which is like something amount, owing to directors, which is under the current liabilities. I'm not sure that your account got this, chart, I mean this account code or not. You can double check and see. Okay, this one is something like customer, sorry, the director pay first, and then company will pay back to the directors. Okay. Okay, so yeah, you can using this one, or you want to change the wording to amount owing to director also can. Because sometimes when I look at the director's loan to, I will confuse. This one is actually director pay or the company pay first or what? Okay, so actually I will change the wording to this one. Okay, amount owing to director. Okay, so you have to do is after you're done key in your purchase bill, right? Okay, the purchase bill is the supplier name and all the details lah. Okay, go to the supplier CN. Okay, but this one is actually we're not using the CN function, but we're using the journal entry function. Okay, we go to new JE. This one you select your supplier. Okay, let's say we already key in the bill for 1800 lah. Okay, let's say this is the purchase bill. You click the plus button. This one you have to select the director's account for this one. Okay, if the director pay for the full lump sum amount, and then this one, the wording, you can change it to this one because this is not the credit note. You see this one, the running number is actually captured for the journal voucher number. It's not the CN. Okay, and then you tick for this one, and then you click save. Okay, which means that when you check the ledger for the supplier, it is actually already paid. Okay, but now is company owing this amount to the director because of director pay first. Okay, so when company want to pay back this amount to the directors, you have to issue another PV, which is GL cash flow entry, new PV. Okay, pay to director. or maybe you can put the director name at here, okay? And then what kind of payment method you use to pay back to the director, you can select from here. Let's say we're using the Maybank, and then amount owing to director. Okay, this one maybe you can put pay uh pay back the amount something like to supplier, which one, something like that, okay? Just the description. 1800, and then you put save. Okay, and then if you check on the ledger, right, you see amount owing to director. Okay, at first director pay first off, credit side, credit director, and then debit to the supplier. So supplier outstanding also clear. Okay, so right now company pay back this amount to the director. Okay, so you see this one is debit, and then our company bank account credit, this one is debit the director account. Okay, so this is the whole step how you do it. You can understand what I'm trying to do, right? Okay, you can try to digest this. Okay, if anything you don't understand, you can ask me again. So I continue the training first. Okay, just now we already go through the maintain customer. So this one is the maintain supplier. Okay, maintain supplier data is actually almost the same as the customer. Just, yeah, can. So your step is just key in purchase invoice first, and then you go to the supplier CN. Okay, you click the new JE lah. Okay, and then you key in. After that, when company pay back the amount to the directors, then only you key in the cash flow entry for new PV. If you don't understand, you can refer back for this video lah. But this video will be uploaded maybe on next week lah. Okay, so for the supplier, just the difference is uh this one is under the CN. Just now I already knocked the bill. You see for this one, you see at the bottom here. This one is the director account, and then you see the bottom. I already knocked the bill. So under the supplier side, it's actually is already offset. Okay, so for the supplier, we only add in for the industry code and the classification. Okay, for the local supplier, right, you no need to do the e-invoice submission as they already done the submission part on their side. Okay, because they already validate and then we just receive the invoice. So we just key in as normal only. Okay, for the local supplier. Okay, but for the foreign supplier, you need to submit the self bill lah. Okay, like for example, this one is a foreign supplier, right? For the SGD. So for the e-invoice, I will change to self bill. Okay, and then the classification. Okay, depends on you are import of goods or service. You can select the classification and the MSIC code here. Okay, and then you click save. Okay, so this is the setting for the supplier lah. So other than that, it's actually almost the same lah. Okay, also and this one for the TIN number, you have to change to foreign supplier, this one. Okay, so for the foreign buyer, just now you also have to select the foreign buyer lah for the customer. Okay, just now I already forgot to mention. Okay, and then for the consolidate one, you have to select for the general public. Like for example, the customer just now, if I'm using the cash sales, okay, this one I change to consolidate, and then this one I change to general public TIN number, this one. Okay, between that, every time when I issue the invoices by using the cash sales, maybe they are just like one-time payment. So I using the consolidate. So I will just submit as the consolidate, and the TIN number is 10 for the general public. Okay, so these are the setting for the SQL. Okay, so right now I will go to issue the documents. Okay, we will start by using the sales part lah. Okay. Okay, actually, previously, when we want to issue the sales document, right? Actually, we got two ways to issue the documents, which is one is under the sales invoice, another one is under the customer invoice. Okay, both of these document is also can issue the sales invoice lah. Okay, but right now, if you start using the e-invoice, right, I will recommend you to switch just directly or using the sales invoice to issue the documents. Okay, because under the customer invoice, we doesn't have the my invoice button here to do the submission for the e-invoice. Okay, this is because of some of the mandatory fields it doesn't show at here. Like for example, you see a sales invoice. I show you side by side. Okay, for the left hand side is a sales invoice. For the right hand side is the customer invoice. Okay, I show you for this one, Thai tea trading. This one is also the Thai tea trading. So actually both are the same. You see the number is number one. Okay, just the document you issue under the sales invoice will link to the customer invoice. Okay, so you no need to open for both. It is just SQL linking for you only. Okay, which means that any document you issue under the sales invoice will be linked to the customer invoice. Okay, so see the difference here. Left hand side, the sales invoice, we have the quantity, UOM, unit price, all of this. Okay, but under the customer invoice, we doesn't have. Okay, because all of this is actually the mandatory field for the e-invoice. So that's why SQL just create the my invoice button under the sales invoice, but it doesn't have under the customer invoice. Okay, but if you start using if you start implement your e-invoice on next year, right? If you are right now still using the customer invoice, you can just continue using it. Okay, just maybe start from next year onwards, you have to switch switch the method to using the sales invoice to issue your sales. Okay, just to let you know the difference. Okay, so this one, the customer invoice, I won't go through with you. I will go through on the sales invoice part for this one. Okay, before you start issue the sales invoice, right? Okay, some of the company, they will go through all of these documents first. Okay, at the beginning, they will issue the quotation first. Like maybe some of the customer, they request, like maybe this product, how much is it? Okay, so maybe we will issue a quotation to them. And then if they agree, they will send us a PO. So at the moment, we will issue a SO. Okay, so make sure that we confirm the order already. And then after we deliver the product to the customer, so we will issue the DO, and then last step, we will transfer it to the invoice. Okay, so I will go through all these four documents. Okay, so at the beginning, quotation, sales quotation, or you can click this one icon, sales quotation also can. Okay, so you click new. Okay, so this one customer, you have to select the customer, for example, Jandela Spectrum. Okay, and then right hand side is the quotation details, like the quotation number, quotation date, agent, terms of. Okay, so you click the plus button, you select the item code. If you got using the stock control, you can select the item from here. If you don't have, you can straight away direct key in the description that you want in here. Okay, but I will simply choose one lah. Okay. Okay, so how many unit they request? Maybe 5 unit. So each unit is about 700. So total is 3500, and then have a service tax for the 8%. So total up is about 3780. Okay, so if you want to key in more description, I want to elaborate like more description regarding for this product, right? Okay, beside the item code here, you click on this small icon, and then you look for the more description, and then you tick. Okay, for example, I want to elaborate more. So you click on it, you click the 3 dots button here. I just simply key in, okay. Okay, so so anything that you want, you can key at here, and then you want to change the color, or maybe you want to bold or underline also can. Okay, after you're done, you click the close button, you click yes. Okay, and then you click save. Okay, so this is sample of the quotation. Okay, so for the left hand side here, okay, if you have the project, you can key in the project. Okay, this one is actually the document project, which is under the balance sheet. Okay, balance sheet is actually is the document part, which is the upper part here. Okay, so you see this upper part is the customer, right? So actually, if you select the project code, it is reflect to this customer. So when I filter this customer, and then I also want to filter the project, I can filter out. Okay, and the bottom one, this one is the item project. You see, if I click this one small icon, I can take the project come up. Okay, after we transfer this one to the invoice, actually this one will capture as our sales, right? So this one will be credit into our sales account. So at the moment, if you want to do the filtering, you can filter the project code as well. So between that each of the document, you will need to put in the two projects. One is here, and then another one is here. Okay. And then if you want to put in the validity delivery term, you can put in at here. And then the bottom here is the delivery address. So if you have more than one delivery address, you can select from here. Okay, if you have lah. And the bottom here is the my invoice details. Okay, all of this data is come from the maintain customer just now. So if you already done setting, done key in the data, right? Actually, it will just link the data from the maintain customer to here. So you no need to do anything lah. Okay. And this one, the MSIC code is your company MSIC code, is not the customer one, because customer is not the mandatory field. So it doesn't have a place to let you to key in also lah. Okay. So this is the quotation. Okay. So if you want to print out this quotation and then give it to your customer, you click the preview icon on top. Okay. You can choose any format that you want. So usually I just simply choose number 1. Okay, so this is just a very simple one. So this one is the quotation. So what kind of the products and how many unit and the total amount. So if you got key in the delivery terms and validity just now, so it will show the details. Okay, so this is one of the sample. Okay, if you want to export to the PDF file, you can click this one, arrow key down, and then export to the PDF file. Okay, you search your folder and then you save it. Or you want to print out the hard copy, you click the printer icon and then you search your printer lah. Okay, or both of this way you don't want, you want to send by WhatsApp also can. You click on this one, click PDF. Okay, you scan the WhatsApp QR code and then it will log in as the web WhatsApp and then you just search your contact number and then you send it to the customer lor. Okay, so we got 3 ways to send. And also, if you don't want, you still got another way, which is you can send the email. But this one is provided that you already done the email setting just now at the beginning I got mentioned. Okay, you can using this one, export to email client. Okay. Okay, so this is the quotation. Okay, so after you give this one quotation to them, right? So after they confirm, they will send you a PO. Okay, so inside the PO, maybe they just confirm for maybe 1 unit. Okay, so for this case, we have to transfer the quotation to the sales order. Okay, so for transfer, we actually got 2 ways. One is we come back to this one original document, which is the quotation. We right click and then we transfer to the sales order. This is one of the way. But this one is system will transfer all the details to the SO together with all the quantity. Okay, if customer confirm all the quantity, then you can using this method lah. Okay, but if customer just confirm for maybe a certain quantity, like maybe 1 unit only, then you cannot using this method. Okay, you have to using another method, which is you go to the sales order, new, and then you look for the customer, and then you right click, transfer from quotation. Okay, so how many unit they confirm? For example, okay, you tick first. Okay, for example, 2 unit. You just change to 2, and then you click OK. Okay, so only 2 unit will be transferred to the sales order. Okay, so we see all the information still the same lah. Okay, so for the PO number that you receive, right? Actually, you can key in at here. Okay, the PO number, and then you click save. Okay, so bottom one is the deposit. So if you receive the deposit together with the PO lah, so you can key in the details like deposit into which bank account, and then got any check number or bank reference number or not. And then the right hand side here is your key in the amount. Okay, and then this deposit system will automatically create a customer payment for you. So when you already transfer to the sales invoice, you have to go to the customer payment to knock off that bill. Okay, so this is the sales order. Okay, after you're done, now you want to deliver this product to the customer, right? So you have to issue the DO. Okay, right click, transfer to delivery order, and then you click save. Okay, you see all the information will be carried forward to the DO. Okay, preview, choose any format that you want. For example, the DO number 1, you see got 2 address here. Okay, so at the beginning, if you got create the billing address and also the delivery address, so both of the address will showing at here lah. Okay, but if you don't want like this, you just want a simple one. So this one will be showing what address only, lor. Okay, and the bottom one is have to let them to sign lah if they already received the goods. Okay, so this is the DO. Okay, after that you have to transfer to invoice. So mostly if you deliver the product to them, usually we will send the DO together with the invoice. Okay, so you click save. So this is the invoice. So once you transfer to invoice, right? So actually system already capture this data and then record inside your accounting. Okay. And then if you're got using the stock system, once you already transfer to the DO, so at that moment, system already record the stock quantity out when you save the DO. Okay. Between that, you have to using the transfer function to invoice, and the system know that this invoice is actually related with that DO, and then won't deduct your quantity again. Okay, if you didn't use the transfer function from DO to invoice, right? I mean that you manually key in the data inside the invoice, system will deduct again the quantity for twice. Okay, so that one, when you check on the stock report, it will not be accurate lah for the stock quantity. Okay, so this one have to take note. It's not the necessary, it depends on your company practice. Because some of the company, they will just go through for these 4 documents, but some of the company, they will just straight away go to quotation directly to the invoice also can. It's up to you. Because some of the company, they want to keep track all the data. So yeah, so they will just go to the SO, DO, and invoice. Okay, so for the invoice here, okay, you check all the data, is it correct? Okay, so right now we have to do the submission. Okay, so for the e-invoice submission, right? Actually is you no need to submit how to say okay, let's say right now today is 11, right? Okay, after I save the data, you no need like straight away do the submission, because when you click the submission, right, the 3 days countdown will be countdown from today until next Monday, something like that. Okay, so maybe you already saved this one, the invoice, and then you can give it to the customer. So maybe inside the invoice format, you can write down a wording or remark, something like this is not a validated e-invoice. So after you check all the details are correct, then only you will do the validation. Okay. Between that, the invoice, once you save on today, you can wait until like maybe end of the month, then only you do the submission. No need like have to do the submission right on the spot. Okay, because after 3 days, after you do the submission, right? If you want to make any changes on the e-invoice, you have to issue the CN, then you have to reissue again. So this one will be quite taking time lah. So for me, I will just ask the customer to, you can create the invoice, you can save first, but you no need to click on the submission first. Okay, maybe you just give them the normal invoice first, and then after you do the submission, then only you give them the e-invoice. Okay. So after that, okay, so after you save, you already confirm all the data are correct. So customer also double check already, also correct. So now you want to do the submission. Okay, you click the My Invoice button here, submit the e-invoice. Okay, you see we have the sandbox wording here, right? Okay, between that, we are now using the testing server to do the submission. Then you see the right-hand side, the sandbox also is at here. Okay, so we have to wait for a while. Okay, so this is the sample e-invoice submission. So this is your company name, and then this is your buyer, which is your customer company name, and then this is the total amount. Okay, and then we have the QR code on top. Okay, and then we have the UUID, and the status is valid. Okay, and then we refresh again. You see this document is already validated. So this one is the valid e-invoice. Okay, so you see the more here. Okay, you see we have the UID and the long ID. UUID is the document that you submitted to the IRB, okay, which means is the upload index ID lah. Okay, if the document done valid, then system will generate a UUID for this. But this one is generated by the IRB lah for the UUID. Oh, okay, 2 branches address, right? Okay, this one is actually go to the, okay, you go to the maintain customer first. Okay, this one you see we have the billing address, right? So if you have 2 branches, okay, this one, delivery one. or you can't, or you want to put the name also can, like maybe one is at Bukit Mertajam. Okay, you put in the details, and then another one is under maybe Libong Tebau. Okay, so you put in the details and then you click save. Okay, and then see whether you want to change under which document. Okay, maybe under the DO you want to change the branch, right? This one, I think I create another one because this one I already transferred to invoice. Okay, let's say I want to create the DO. Okay, you want to select the branches, right? So you click on the more here. Okay, at the delivery branch here, you click on this one. You click arrow key down, you can select the branch. Like you want to select the BM, and then you click save. So when you print out the DO, you have to select the number one because number one will show the delivery address at here. Okay, so this is how you select the branches. So same for the invoice. So right now I show you for the DO, so same for the invoice also. If you choose to, how to say, sorry, if you choose to issue invoice, how, you mean inside the invoice here, you cannot select the item code. Customer, we doesn't have the item code because customer totally doesn't link to the stock system. So if you want to use the stock system, right, which means you want to input the item code, you have to using the sales invoice. May I know how you say that you cannot select the item code because you just click on this one and then you click the arrow key down and then you search the item code will do. And then when you do the searching, right, you can check on the on top here the title. If this one is in bold color, which means that right now system is actually searching the data from this field, which is the item code. If you want to search the item description, you have to use the tab button. Okay, you see the code is jumping to the description as the bold color. So right now, system is searching the data from the description field. So I'm not sure that why you cannot select the item code. Maybe you have to let me know about this one first. Okay, so for sales invoice submission, it's like this only. So after you done the invoice, you just click on my invoice and then you do the submission. Okay, so after you do the submission and then customer find out that maybe some of the details are incorrect, so you want to do the changes, right? Okay, you click the my invoice and then you can do the cancellation. This one is within the 3 days you can do the cancellation. If already exceed the 3 days, you only can issue the CN, then only you reissue again a new e-invoice. Okay, so right now I showing you is within the 3 days. You want to do the cancellation. You click on it. So you have to select the reason. Okay, for example, wrong invoice details, initiate cancellation. Okay, you see the status will from valid go to the cancel one. Okay, so edit again. So maybe you want to add in another line, for example. Okay, for example, I forgot to bill for this item. Okay, for 1 unit for 29 ringgit. So I click save. Okay, so after you done amend, you can submit again. Okay, so you see this is the new data, and then this is the new UUID. So you can refresh again, the status will become green tick again. This is how you do the cancellation within the 3 days. Okay, if after 3 days you want to do the cancellation and then you have to reissue again. Okay, you have to go to the CN. Okay, you go to sales, you go to the credit note. Okay, and then you click new. Okay, this one customer. Okay, for example, this one. Okay, if you got using the stock system, right, you have to transfer from the sales invoice. You right click, transfer from the sales invoice. Okay, see whether which one you want to cancel. For example, you want to cancel the whole bill, okay? Okay, and then you click save. Okay, this one is, do you want to knock off the transfer documents? Okay, for example, just now the invoice, if customer doesn't make any payment, so you want to using this CN to offset with the invoice just now, you may just click on yes button. Okay, so for this one, you can do the submission. No? So CN have to do the submission for the e-invoice also. Lah. Okay, so this one is the credit note, and this one is the UID. Okay, this is when you want to totally CN for the whole bill and then you want to reissue again, so you can using this method. Okay, and then for the DN and CN, for the e-invoice, IRB got the criteria, which is you need to put the related, for the related invoice number. Like for example, just now I already transfer from the sales invoice, so IRB know that this CN actually is related with the invoice number just now. Okay, this is one of their criteria lah. Stock to issue. Okay. So for your case, you are the construction company, right? Okay. So for construction company, they are provide the service or claim. So actually they don't have the item code. If they don't have the item code, you can just straight away direct key the description will do. Like for example, you want to key in the claims, right? For example, this one. This one you may just ignore. This one item code. You can just straight away like key in the progress claim for number 8, like maybe 50%, something like that. Okay. So 1, and then maybe like 100,000. Oh, okay, 10,000, something like that. And then you just click save. And then if you want to key in more description, can edit. Beside the item code, you click this one, the small icon here, you take the more description come up. You can key in the details, like maybe like which project, like maybe Nibong Tebao. And then you can click close button, save, and then you click save. No need like compulsory need to key in the item code. Item code is only for those maybe like trading company or manufacturing company, they got the goods, then only you have to select the item code. So if you are the construction company or maybe the services company, so they don't have the item code. So you can just straight away key in the description will do. Okay, so the CN just now, okay, this one I already show how to do the transfer law. Okay, so after that, you want to reissue again the e-invoice, right? Okay, we come back to the invoice, you click new. Okay, reissue again the new invoice, oh, this one. For example, this one, and then 3 unit, and then you click save, and then you submit again. Okay, so this is how you do the steps, like already exit for 3 days, and then you issue CN, and then you come back the invoice to do the new e-invoice. Okay, and then yeah. Next. Okay, your credit sales rental invoice and the cash sales, you got create a different sales account or not? Like maybe credit sales is one account, rental invoice is one account, or maybe cash sales is one account. Or you just grouping all of this into one sales account only. If you got separate, you can create the item code like you mentioned just now under the maintain stock item. But before that, you have to create the stock group first. Okay. Okay, you got different account, right? Okay. So you go to the stock group first. This one, maintain stock group. Okay, you click new. Okay, you give it the code, like for example, credit sales. Okay, this one you just maintain as FIFO will do lah, because you doesn't have the stock also, so you make it like this. Or you want to put as fixed costing also can lah, okay. And then the sales account, you have to select the credit sales account lor. Okay, I just simply choose one. Okay, and then I click save. And then another one, rental. Okay, and then I choose another sales account, which is this one. Okay, so you have to create for 3 grouping first, oh. Okay, because you have 3 types of the sales, right? Okay, after you're done create, you come back to the maintain stock item here. Okay, for example, credit sales. Okay, and then the grouping here, you have to select the credit sales. And then this one, the UM depends on you. You want to put like one lump sum or maybe like one unit, something like that. It's up to you lah. Because I don't know that your sales is actually using what kind of the UM. Okay, and then you click save off. And then if you want to put in the classification, you can put it at here. Okay, after you're done create, you can untick for this one the stock control lah, since this one is not the stock for you. Okay, untick this one. Okay, so when you come to invoice, right, you can select the credit sales here, and then you can change the description here lah if you want, and then you can key in the more description. So when you tick the account come out, it's actually captured to the account that you're mapping just now under the stock group. And then for another one, I didn't create. If you create another one, which is the rental, so if you go to the rental account as well. Okay, so yeah, so I go to the CN again. Okay, so CN just now, the scenario is already exit for 3 days, and then we transfer from the sales invoice to the CN. Okay, this is one of the scenario. And then another scenario is, okay, customer doesn't want to cancel the bill, but maybe we give them some discount, but discount is we didn't cancel the bill, right? But how we doing for this one, the CN? Okay, we click new. Okay, for example, this one. Okay, remember that just now I mentioned that IRB got one criteria that for the CN and DN you need to stated down the related invoices, right? So at this case, you have to go to the from document, click this one, the three dots here, and then you take the related invoices. Okay, for example, these two lah. Okay, so maybe I give them a special discount, which is maybe the early settlement. Okay, one, maybe I give them 500, so doesn't have any SST, let's say. Okay, and then we have to take the account come out, this one. Okay, account we put as discount allowed here, and then we click save. Okay, and then we submit the e-invoice. Okay, so done submitted. So this is another scenario like we just give them the discount and then we didn't want to cancel any bill. Okay, after you done key in this one, the sales credit note, right? Okay, so we want to do the knockoff. So the knockoff, we go to the customer credit note. Okay, you look for the same CN number. You see this one is number 5. So under the credit note, you also look for the number 5 because system will link the data from the sales CN to the customer CN. Okay, you double click, you edit, and then this one you click the yes button. And then you knock off for this bill, this one, and then you click save. Okay, so at the beginning, the outstanding bill is about 2268. So now already reduced 500, become 1768. Okay, so this is the whole step lah. If you issue the discount under the sales CN, and then you have to come back to the customer CN to do the knockoff. Okay, so yeah, so this is the sales document. So just now the question can solve your issue or not for this one, the sales one. Okay, so any question regarding on the sales document? If no, I will go to the GL part for the cash flow entry and also the journal entry. The purchase one, I think I will skip because purchase and sales is okay. All right, sure. Okay, the purchase and the sales is almost the same lah. So I will skip first because now already 12:25. Okay, but purchase got a special part is okay for the e-invoice lah. Okay. Uh Purchase is okay under the my invoice here. Actually, you can import your e-invoice from the my invoice portal, and then you can import into the SQL accounting. Okay, which means that any supplier using your TIN number to do the submission for the e-invoice, right? It actually have a data inside the my invoice portal. Okay, so you can load the data to here, and then you can import the data into the purchase invoice lah. Let's say I try to put in for today date. Okay, so let's say this one, the corridor is our supplier. So what we need to do is you have to mapping the supplier code first. For example, this one. And then the bottom, you have to mapping the item code. This one. This one I put as MISC. Okay, let's see. And then if you have the tax rate at here, you have to mapping the tax code as well, which is the this one PST for 10%. Okay, so after that you will click this one button to import into the system. Okay, you refresh again. You see this one data is already import to our purchase invoice. Okay, so this one is our supplier. So this is the details. And then you see this one have their my invoice the UUID and the long ID details. So this one is already validated by the local supplier. So we just import into the purchase invoice. But this one is not the compulsory way you need to do. If you want to using your manual way, like or you receive the bill, you want to using your own way to key in manually also can. It's up to you. Just I let you know that SQL is actually have another function, which is you can download, not download, you can load the data from the My Invoice portal and then import into the purchase invoice. Okay. And then I will show you how to do the self-bill. Okay. For example, you purchase like maybe import services, okay, from foreign supplier. So we have to do the self-bill, right? Okay. So you click new supplier. Maybe I select this one. Okay, so this one is the foreign supplier. So the rate you can check from the Bank Negara Malaysia, and then you key in the exchange rate. Okay, this one. I simply choose one, okay. Okay, 107, and then we click save. Okay, so you see the data here, self-bill. The TIN number is select as 30, which is the foreign supplier. So now we do the submission. Okay, see this one is the self-bill. So this one is our foreign supplier. This is our company name, and then this is the total amount. Okay, so very easy only. So this one is how you do the self-bill lah for the foreign supplier. But the date is you have to double check the guideline and see. I forgot already. Seems like the import of service is depends on the payment date and the invoice date, whichever is earlier, and then within 2 months have to do the submission for the import of services. But you have to double check the guideline first lah. Okay, so this one is the purchase invoice. Okay, next I will go to the GL. Okay, we go to the cash flow entry. Okay, cash flow entry here is we key in our company expenses like salary, rental, and the utility charges. All of this you can key in under cash flow entry lah. Okay, so cash flow entry we also can do the submission. Okay, like if you want to do the submission for the self bill, like maybe you hire a maybe outsource accountant, okay, to do the account for you. So maybe they didn't run any business, okay, they are just individual. Okay, so you have to do the self bill towards them. Okay, so how we do it for this one? Okay, you just click on new PV. Okay, and then you put the date, the payment date. Okay, and then if you have the project, you can put the project, and then this is the form document number. But this one I think you don't need to put lah. Okay. Okay, payment to who? Okay, for example, are you using my name to show you? Okay, for example, you're paying the fees to me. Okay, so what is the payment method? And then you click the plus button. Okay, I simply choose one. Okay, so if you have the accounting fee, you put accounting fee here, and then paying for like which month until which month. Okay, and then the amount, for example, paying for 1,000 ringgit. Okay, so beside here, the more here you have to put in the details lah. So this one, for example, I put my name and then the address, country. Okay, so once you put in the postcode, it will come out the city and state. And then the phone number. Okay, submission. This one have to change to self-bill. Okay, so they doesn't have any sales tax and service tax, you just leave it blank. So when we'll do the submission, inside the IRB, we will capture as NA lah, because you put as empty. Okay, this one, the ID type. If they provide you for the IC, right, you can change to NRIC and then you put in the IC number. Okay, so this is my IC number. And then if they provide you the TIN number, you can put in the TIN. If they doesn't, you can select as general public lah. Okay, if they got provide you for both, you can key in the data. If they just provide you the TIN number, they didn't provide you the IC number, so this one you just leave it as blank. Okay, so right now I will show you how to do the submission for the self-bill lah. If you hire a maybe outsourced accountant, or maybe you pay the renter to them, okay, and then the renter, the landlord doesn't run any business, so you have to self-bill to them. Okay, and then you click save. Different type of the payment voucher, how to say because one payment voucher can key in for one type lah. Like for example, right now I key in as clerical charges. If you have if you want to key in for the utility charges, you can create another new PV and then you key in the utility charges. Or if you in one PV you got many expenses, you can just click the plus button and then you can add in another line, like maybe the staff claim. So maybe they claim for petrol, toll, and maybe meals. Okay, so you can click the plus button to add in line by line here. Okay, right now I try to do the self bill. Okay, I already input all the data or the amount. Okay, I click my invoice and then I click submit e-invoice. Okay, you see this one done submit, self-bill e-invoice bill towards my name, and then the total amount is about 1,000. Okay, so this is how you do the self-bill under the payment voucher. Okay, you see you have the UUID and also the long ID. Okay, so maybe inside the payment voucher, you can just capture the QR code. So when IRB or what want to check on the self-bill, they can just scan on the QR code will do. Okay, so this one is the new PV. New PV is you make payment to the, pay for the expenses. Okay, and then this one new OR is you receive the money, not from the customer. Like for example, you receive money from the director, okay, or maybe you top up the capital, your company capital share cap. Okay, so that one also using the new OR. Okay, this one the cash flow entry is not related with the customer and supplier, and then you got make payment, so you can key in at here. Okay, next is the journal entry. Okay, journal entry is something like, okay, just now this one is an example for like maybe director pay on behalf first. So after I key in the supplier CN, but actually I using the new JE, right, journal entry, so it will link the data to here. Okay, this is one of the example. And then another example is maybe depreciation. Okay, just now I mentioned that maybe, okay, you buy a car which is right now is about like 100,000. Okay, but maybe next year it will reduce, become 80,000. So you already depreciate for like maybe 20,000. So for this one, the depreciate for 20,000, you have to record inside the accounting as your expenses. Okay, so how are we doing for this entry? You'll click new. Okay, they are actually sharing the running number. Okay, you see, if I go to the cash flow entry, right? You see a new PV. You see right now is go to number 15. Okay, what if you pay the payment to the supplier? You go to supplier payment, you click new. You see the right number is also captured is 15. So both are sharing the same running number lah. If you don't want to like sharing, you want to make it like different, also can. Okay, you go to maintain document number. Okay, you look for the pay voucher first. Okay, this one. Okay, you edit as new. This one may be in front. Supplier pay voucher. Okay, but the document type is the same lah, because we doesn't have the supplier payment for this part, because both are sharing. Just you want to differentiate. So maybe this one, SPV, you click save. Okay, and then at the supplier payment here, the default number, you change it to supplier payment. So system will ask you, do you want to set as default? You click yes. So you cancel. So you see this one will become SPV. Okay, so we come back to this one, the journal voucher just now. Okay, so we create the journal entry for the depreciation. Okay, so usually we do the depreciation end of the year lah. Okay, so put as like this. Depreciation of fixed asset. Okay, but this one will need some accounting knowledge that you need to know that this amount is actually want to put in under debit side or credit side. Okay, so this one, motor vehicle, for example, 20,000, let's say. And then another one is your expenses, which is the depreciation, because you have to capture for this loss. Okay. Okay, so this is the entry how you create for the depreciation. We credit the accumulated depreciation and then we debit the expenses. Okay, this one is why we credit is because of at the beginning, we buy a motor vehicle, we already debit into the motor vehicle account, which is 100,000. Okay. And then if we want to reduce, become 80,000, we have to minus the 20,000, right? So you have to credit this one, become minus. And then when you show the report, it will show the net amount become 80,000 for the motor vehicle. I show you for this one. I'm not sure can show you for this or not. This one. This one I simply put the opening, okay. And then I go to balance sheet. Yeah, this one. You can see the report. Actually, it's like this. Okay. At the beginning, I buy the motor vehicle, cost is about 100,000. So now the market value become 80,000. So I want to depreciate about 20,000. So you see this is the report after I save the depreciation. Okay. If I pay supply invoice. Okay, actually it's like this. Okay, when you key in the supplier invoice, right? No matter you key in under the purchase invoice or supplier invoice, it actually got a currency rate like you to key in. For example, this one. Okay, so for maybe this date, the currency rate is captured about 4.2. Okay, when you make payment to this supplier, maybe on next month, so the currency rate will become different, right? Okay, I show you. I'm not sure this one this one payment has been done. I create another one. Okay, for example, this one is today date, and then the USD rate right now is about 4.2. Okay, so I make payment to the supplier payment, new. This supplier is this one, Radisson, this one. Okay, so this one is the USD rate, no? Okay, but if you're using your Malaysia bank account to pay for the USD, right? Okay, this one actually the rate you cannot change. Okay, what we can do is you have to key in your Malaysia ringgit first. Okay, if your pay is about like maybe 5,000, okay, and then you take the bill that you pay, you see the rate system will automatically calculate for you. Maybe I put higher a bit lah. Okay, 6500 like this. Okay, so you see you put the RM and then you take the bill, so it will directly show the currency rate. Okay, let's say right now your pay is using the 4.3 lah. Okay, so you click save, system will automatically show out the gain loss for you. So this one is lost about 200 ringgit for this one. So if you click OK, this one the 200 ringgit you can right click show the double entry. It will go to the loss on foreign exchange. Okay, just the important one, the exchange rate on both of the document you must key in. So under the purchase invoice, you have the currency rate and the supplier payment here, you also have the currency rate. But this one you can't key in the rate is because of now you are using the Maybank RM to pay for the USD supplier. So we have to using the terbalik way. which is you key in your RM ringgit, you tick the bill, and then system will auto calculate the rate for you. So after you click save, system will auto generate the gain loss for you lah. Okay, so yeah, okay. Next, I will go to the bank reconciliation. Okay, bank reconciliation is all the data you already done key in. Now you want to do the matching between your account with the to the bank statement. Okay, see whether both of this amount is tally or not. Okay, so this one you have to do it. You click new. Okay, see whether right now you want to do the bank recon for which month. Okay, for example, December 2024. You select the bank account. Okay, and then this one, you have to double check your bank statement closing amount is how much, for example, something like this, okay, and then you click apply. Okay, so these are the transactions you key in inside the SQL. Okay, so for the bank recon, you have to double check and see whether this amount is it appear inside your bank statement. If yes, you can tick for these transactions. Okay, for example, this one, on June, capital, for debit side is receive in, for credit side is your payout. Okay, so for this one, you'll receive in for 50,000 inside your Maybank account. So you double check and see your bank statement on this date, is it you got receive for this money or not? If yes, you tick for this one. And then this one is withdraw cash, also the same. See whether you got see this amount inside the bank statement or not for the withdrawal. If yes, you tick for this one. Okay, between that, you go through for all the transactions. If doesn't show, you no need to tick, you just skip first. Okay, so make sure that all the transactions inside the bank statement is you tick inside the SQL. If you find out that the amount inside the bank statement doesn't show inside the SQL, so you have to key in, see whether that one is paid from I mean you receive from who, and then you pay for what kind of the expenses. Okay, you have to key in back. Okay, so after you're done for this step, make sure that this one out of balance will become 0. Okay, so you click save. Okay, so this is how you do the bank reconciliation. Between that, your SQL bank account balance should be tallied with your bank statement balance. Okay, so every month have to do it. So if you have met many banks, so all of the bank, you also need to do the bank reconciliation as well. Okay, so after you've done key in all the data, so right now you want to check for the reports. Okay, for the report, you go to GL, and then you go to the ledger report. Okay, so you can put the date. I just opened it lah. Okay, then you click apply. So this is the account for the debit and credit side. Like for example, this one is Maybank. So Maybank, you can check that Maybank debit side is in. This one is out. Between this one is your deposit amount. This one is your withdrawal amount. Okay, and also if I scroll to the sales, so this one is your sales amount. And then this one is your purchase amount, which is under the debit side. Okay, so you can double check and see for debit and credit. Okay, if you want to print out the report, click the preview icon on top, and then you select this one, B2. Yeah, so this one you can export, and then maybe you want to send to do the audit, you can export to the PDF file, and then you send it to the auditor. Okay, this one is for the general ledger. If you want to check on the customer ledger, click on this one, apply. So you see all of this is your company, customer company name. And then this one is for the supplier. Okay. So another one is trial balance. Sorry. Okay, trial balance is you can check on the year-to-date data. I mean the whole year, the total amount like total, like maybe the total sales amount or total purchase amount, total salary, all of this you can check from here. This one is grouping together with the P&L and also the balance sheet okay, for the trial balance. So you also can preview the report, see whether which one you prefer. Yeah, you can create the other creditor. But before you create the other creditor, for this one, the maintain account, right? For the other creditors here, make sure this one you have to tick as special account type supplier control account. Okay, after that, you go to the maintain supplier. You only can group it under the supplier, this one, other creditor. Because the default one, they doesn't set as the control account, so you have to change first. Okay, and then we go to the P&L. Okay, so P&L, usually if you want to check on the total amount, you can select as this year 2 column, and then you can increase the level if you want to check on the details. Okay, so this one is the sales, this one is the purchase, this one is the salary and all the expenses. So, okay, so you see this one, the profit is about like 83,000 plus. Okay, so if you want to check on the comparison, okay, so we got this year versus last year. If last year have the data, you can compare. Or you want to compare for like 12 months, also can do it like this. Okay, so you know that the performance, like which one is drop or maybe which one is higher, so you can check on here. Or maybe you want to comparison for 4 years also can. Okay, it's up to you. You can double check the report at here. Okay, next is balance sheet. Balance sheet is your asset and also your liabilities. Okay, so this two column increase. This one display your details for the debtors and creditors. Okay, so you know that this one, the trade debtors total amount is about like 50,000 plus, right? So you know that this one is actually come from this customer. Okay, so this one is your asset loan. And then this one is your liabilities, which is your supplier. You have to make payment to them. And then this one is the ETF. Okay, so same as the P&L, you want to do the comparison or comparison for 12 months, you also can. Okay, yeah, so I think these are the basic one. Any question regarding for the accounting? Yeah, the last one, the most important one is the backup one. Okay, you go to file and then you go to the backup database. Okay, you click the plus button here at local storage. Okay, you find a folder to save it up, like for example, desktop, select folder. Okay, you backup. So you wait. Okay, and then done. Okay. So it will show out a zip file, something like this. Hold on, no, this one. This one. Yeah, this one. It's a zip file. So you may just copy this one, the zip file, maybe to your cloud drive, like maybe like Google Drive or OneDrive to save a copy. So in case your computer corrupt, so we can still install the SQL software for you, and then we just restore the data for this one. Okay, which means that you won't lose your data for this. Okay, so if using cloud, you no need to backup. Yeah. I mean the cloud is the SQL cloud that I'm using just now. I mean something like this one. If you are using the standalone database, which is the SQL is installed inside your PC, that one you must do the backup. Because if your PC is spoiled, so which means the data will be gone also. If you are using the SQL cloud, something like me showing to you right now, because this data is kept inside the HQ server, so you don't need to do the backup, it's okay. I think no. I already show you like the sales purchase and also the cash flow entry already. Submission on the SST return. Okay, all right. Okay. Just now I start the SST is service tax. So service tax is actually based on the payment basis, which means that the payment you receive from the customer, then only you need to do the submission lah. Okay. So for this one, you go to SST, new SST return. Okay, if you are first time submit the SST, right, you have to refer from the letter. For the first submission is actually from when to when, because sometimes when you do the registration, right, actually custom will based on your year end. Maybe the first time for submission you just submit for 1 month only, and then other than that you submit for 2 months twice. Oh, sorry, 2 months submission for one. Okay, so this one have to depends on your letter that you receive. Like the first submission is submit for 1 month or 2 months. If 1 month, so this one is correct. I mean submit for July only. So if submit for 2 months, this one maybe have to change to August. Okay, and then you do the submission. Okay, if you want to check the draft amount first, you click the arrow key down and then you process as draft. Okay, so you will see the tax amount here. But right now, because I didn't gain any customer payment, so the tax amount is 0. Okay, you can click this on SST02. You select the third one. So this one is the SST02 form. So this is your company name and the details. Okay, so if you have the amount here, you can double click inside. You see, you double click, it will show the bill number here. Okay, so if you double check already, yeah. Oh, the consolidate, no. Okay, hold on. I finish this one first. Okay. Okay, for the draft SST return, okay, if you're already done checking and then all the information are correct, okay, you can click new SST return again, and then you click the process. So process is the actual one, which means that after you click the process, right? Within I mean this period from July to the August, you are not allowed to do any changes on this part already, since you already do the submission for the SST. Okay, and then if you have okay, if you have the amount here for the tax amount, right? So it will posting the journal entry. So if you're paying to the custom, so you need to create another payment voucher. Okay, GL, cash flow entry, new PV, and then your payment to customer. This one have to key in as payable custom, and then how much you pay to custom. So you have to key in for this amount. Okay, so this one is the SST return. Okay, for the E-invoice just now I show you is the one bill, right? For the each bill for the E-invoice. Okay, so if you want to do the consolidate, okay, you go to invoice. Okay, you no need to double click inside. You just click on my invoice here, consolidate E-invoice. Okay, so you insert the date that you want to do the consolidate. For example, I put as 2024 because the data I have right now is 2024 only lah. So take this one, apply. Okay, so you see I have a few bills at here that still not yet submit for E-invoice. Okay, so you take which bill is you want to do the submission for the consolidate. So for example, this one and this one. Okay, let's say lah. And then click next. So this is when you do the submission will appear like this. So for number 1 and number 2, total amount is about 6,000 plus, and then number 5 and number 6, the total amount is here. So total amount is about like 10,000 plus. So you click the submit. Okay, you submit as consolidate invoice, and then the invoice number is C1. Okay, so submit as general public. So this is the total amount. Okay, so if you want to check the consolidate invoice number, right? You click on this one, the small icon here. You click on consolidate number. So you know that, refresh again, you know that this bill is actually submit as consolidate. Okay, and then you can check the status on here. Okay, and then the left hand side here, you can see the duration. Okay, this is the status green tick, which means it's already validate. So you can see this one, the gray color here, you can see the duration. Okay, which means that this one left for maybe 2 days. So you still got 2 days to do the amendment. So if this one 2 days is disappear already, which means that this document is already exit for 3 days, you are no longer to do changes. All right, okay. Anything else? If no, I think I will stop the training at here. It's already 1 p.m. No. The SSC submission is actually okay. Inside the SQL, you have to log the period. I mean, you have to submit the SST law, just now I show you. Okay, after that, you have to manually go to the custom website to do the submission, which means that the SST just now, okay, you already process the real one, right? You have to print out this one, the SST02, or you export to PDF file also cannot. Okay, inside we'll have the information for all of this. So you have to go to the My SST website. Okay, you log in and then you have to fill in the data. I mean, you refer the data from here and then you do the submission. This one is just submit inside the SQL to log the transactions between July and August only. So the real one, you have to go to the custom website to do the submission. Okay, all right. Anything else? Okay. If no, I think I will stop the training at here. Thank you guys for joining the training for today. So this video, I think next week will be upload. Yeah. I share you the YouTube link. Hold on. I hold on. I stopped the sharing for a while. I searched the YouTube link first. Hold on. Okay. I show you this one, the YouTube link. This one is support team. Yeah, they will upload the video to here lah after they done convert the video. So you can double check the video from here if you want to refer back the data. Okay, so I set again the guideline lah if you want to check this one. And this one you can check on the e-invoice guideline. Okay, so actually it's like this. Okay, you want to check on the e-invoice common errors and solutions, and then how to add the QR code. Okay, and then the mandatory field and the sole proprietor, how to do the my tax setting, all of this you can refer from here lah. Okay, so we got the English version and the Chinese version. And then another one is SQL account. This one. Okay, this one also is another guideline. This one is the video. Okay, so this one actually is okay, like how you okay, how to do the bank reconciliation. You can check on here, like customer. This one is unrealized gain loss lah. So yeah, how to do the contra and then customer payment, local and multi-currency, or you can refer from here. And then I think still got another one. Hold on, this one. Yeah, this one. This okay, this one is based on the module. Okay, like for example, okay, you see the customer. You don't know that many customer like maybe some of the details you don't know how to fill in. Okay, you can just click on the maintain customer. Okay, so inside we'll have the picture and then show you lah. Okay, like maybe the general. Okay, so what kind of information you need to fill in. Okay, you don't know how to key in, I mean, you don't know how to create the branch. So you will have the explanation at here lah. Okay, so I think that's all for today. So you guys can jot down the link lah. Okay, so if doesn't have any questions, so I will stop here. Thank you guys. Bye bye. Okay, thanks. Bye bye.